Chapter 2238. This was a nameless grassland. The soil was barren, the grass was mostly yellow and withered weeds. The sky was grey and overcast, there was no sunlight. Dark winds blew on the immortals' faces. In this ordinary place, dozens of GU immortals were gathered. The GU immortals' gazes were focused on two of them. One was a male immortal. He wore a yellow-brown leather robe of northern plains, he had a thick red leather belt, he wore a pair of black leather boots. The thick leather robe could not conceal his muscular body. As for his face, it was not outstanding, it was more like an ordinary face. But none of the GU immortals present could ignore him. Because his name was Chu-Du, he was the domination immortal. Facing him from afar was a female immortal. This female immortal wore black gold armor, her face was half covered by a visor that covered her nose, mouth, and cheeks. Only the upper half was exposed, but she had strong facial features, her eyebrows were sharp, her eyes were bright, she had a heroic aura. She was the famous GU immortal world of Northern Plains, Fairy Blackmoon, who had challenged all sorts of experts without losing once. As for her true identity, He Lulan, very few GU immortals knew about it. Not long ago, after He Lulan defeated Liu Tribe's rank 7 expert, the rank 7 GU immortal Liu Chang, she took the initiative to challenge Chu-Du. Chu-Du did not cower, he directly agreed. Once news of this battle spread, it affected the sensitive nerves of Northern Plains immortals, they paid close attention to it. At this moment, it was the time for the two immortals to fight. Chu-Du, you are finally here. He Lulan's eyes were burning with battle intent. A confrontation of strength path, I have been waiting for this battle for a long time. Chu-Du happily replied, regardless of the outcome, I would like to invite you to Chu Tribe as a guest, we can exchange insights on strength path cultivation. He Lulan snorted coldly, Chu-Du, I have heard of your great name. But if you want to exchange pointers, we will have to see if you have the qualifications. Let's fight. Chu-Du smiled, please. He Lulan did not stand on ceremony, she flew up like lightning, flying into the clouds. Hoo hoo hoo. Numerous figures suddenly shot down from the clouds like shooting stars, diving down towards Chu-Du. Chu-Du raised his head to look. Seeing this, he immediately retreated. His speed became even faster, he pulled apart the distance and used a killer move, pushing his palms upwards. Rumble, a surge of energy surged out, the wave of chi swept out, He Lulan's strength path silhouette was crushed like a bubble under the wild attack. Chu-Du pushed out his palm again, and the dark clouds above his head were instantly swept away, revealing a clear sky of several dozen miles. Bright sunlight shone down. He Lulan, who had disappeared into the clouds, was also exposed. He Lulan's expression was solemn. With the cover of the dark clouds, her killer move was also ready. The next moment, she clasped her hands into fists, raised them high above her head, and smashed them down towards Chu-Du with a thunderous explosion. The air distorted, and the fist shadow almost instantly blasted in front of Chu-Du. Chu-Du raised his arms and blocked the attack. Bang! With a loud sound, he was forced back by 100 steps. But he soon stopped in the air, shaking his arms as a layer of dust fell from his sleeves. He was unharmed. He Lulan was not an exception, her attacks were like a storm, continuous and unending. Chu-Du blocked again and counterattacked. Both sides were still a distance away from each other, attacking from afar, the commotion shaking heaven and earth. The spectating immortals stared at both sides attentively. Spectacular, to think that strength path GU immortals also have so many long-range methods. Currently, it seems that Fairy Blackmoon and Chu-Du are evenly matched. It is still too early to say. Cho Laro Wu snorted coldly, strength path GU immortals are strongest in close combat, these two are only probing each other with long-range attacks. Chu-Du was steady like a mountain, while He Lulan displayed many exquisite long-range methods. After a dozen or so rounds, both sides suddenly charged and fiercely collided in the middle. An explosion shook the hearts of the immortals. The two are truly fighting. This is an extremely rare contest of strength path. Whoever wins will be the #1 strength path expert in the current 5 regions. In the current 5 regions, there were very few GU immortals who cultivated strength path. After all, strength path was declining, It was not a concept that had existed for 50 or 60 years, it had been declining for a long time. Before He Lulan appeared, Chu Du was publicly recognized as a strength path expert in the current 5 regions. He could be said to be the face of the world. He Lulan's sudden appearance and her specialized path surprised many GU immortals. To think that another freak expert would appear in strength path. Under everyone's gazes, the two exchanged punches and kicks. They were locked in a stalemate. Offense and defense continued to switch. Enormous strength was contained in every strike. Be it Chu Du or He Lulan, neither had the slightest intention of retreating. They fought fiercely and fiercely. The battle between strength path GU immortals could be said to be simple and unadorned. It was not as flashy as other paths. However, the GU immortals present felt a chill in their hearts when they saw this. Even though strength path is declining, strength path GU immortals cannot be underestimated. If I were to fight against either Chu Du or Fairy Black Moon, the outcome would be dire. Every time Chu Du and He Lulan fought, there would be a thunderous explosion, the surrounding air distorted, air currents surged and the sound of the wind could be heard. Compared to long-range combat, strength path was more suited for close-range combat. For GU immortals who cultivated strength path, every ordinary punch or kick was threatening enough. The advantage of close-range combat was the frequency of attacks. He Lulan and Chu Du fought faster and faster. The spectating GU immortals could not help but break out in cold sweat if they put themselves in their shoes. In the future, if I encounter strength path GU immortals, I cannot let them get close to me. Punches and kicks are used too frequently. There is no time to prepare killer moves in this battle. But without killer moves, how can I defend against such a storm of punches and kicks? Another dozen or so rounds passed. Chu Du gradually gained the upper hand. Even though He Lulan was strong and had many methods, she was inferior to Chu Du in terms of battle experience. Her cultivation time could not compare to Chu Du. Chu Du relied on his rich battle experience to accumulate his advantage bit by bit. As these advantages accumulated, He Lulan was gradually forced into a disadvantage. Chen Cheng, Yin Wu Qiu, and the rest had grim expressions. This cannot go on, I need to take a risk. He Lulan's gaze was like a sharp blade, it flashed for an instant. She knew that if she did not try to change this, she would be the one who would lose. At the next moment, He Lulan roared as her punches and kicks flew like a tidal wave, crashing towards Chu Du. Chu Du was like a reef in the sea. No matter how strong the waves were, he did not budge. He Lulan was not surprised. She retreated while Chu Du was blocking her attacks. At the same time, she started to prepare her killer move. Chu Du smiled as he quickly got close. Oh no! Chen Cheng saw this and cried out. The spectating GU immortals saw this and understood that Chu Du had been waiting for this opportunity. Chu Du burst out with astonishing speed, rapidly closing in on He Lulan. He Lulan was forced into a corner. She could only stop her killer move and use her fists and kicks to fight against Chu Du, blocking his relentless attacks. Precisely so, she rashly stopped her killer move midway. The killer move's activation failed and caused a backlash that caused He Lulan to suffer severe internal injuries. Chu Du created this opportunity and also used it to force He Lulan to the point where she could only defend herself. Chu Du had the complete upper hand. Cheers erupted. The voices came from Chu Du's adopted children, as well as Chu tribe's external elders. Mph, don't be happy too early. Fairy Black Moon still has trump cards that she has not used yet. The Northern Plains GU immortals who supported He Lulan had grim expressions as they retorted. Totem killer move, Dark Capital Strength Biao. At the next moment, He Lulan's body shook slightly. With a tiger's roar, a huge pitch-black tiger sent Chu Du flying with a claw. The huge pitch-black tiger's wings flapped as it vanished on the spot, appearing behind Chu Du. Chu Du quickly turned around to block. Although he blocked another attack from the Dark Capital Strength Biao, his body was still sent flying like a cannonball, crashing to the ground from the recoil. It appeared. Fairy Black Moon's signature method, Dark Capital Strength Biao. Someone shouted excitedly. Cho Laro Wu had a cold expression. This was the first time he had seen it. This totem killer move is too convenient. It normally resides on the skin, but when it is needed, it can be activated with just a thought. Indeed. Hao Zhan gritted his teeth. If not for this move, my first Supreme Elder would have already obtained victory. Chapter 2239. The Dark Capital's strength Biao had incredible speed, it was very hard to deal with. Most importantly, after He Lulan stabilized his footing, he hurriedly used a healing method on his body and immediately entered the battle. She cooperated with the Dark Capital's strength Biao, pincer attacks from both sides, suppressing Chu Du was in a sorry state, his robe was torn in many places, his defense was at a disadvantage. Soon, blood flowed out of his mouth, injuries accumulated on his body. Chu Clan's GU immortals had grim expressions. From this situation, they could not see any hope of Chu Du turning the situation around. The Dark Capital's strength Biao gave He Lulan a huge advantage. You will be defeated like this. He Lulan took the chance and shouted, using his killer move, 8 directions battle strength. Chu Du was surrounded by several figures, he could not get out. Suddenly, a shadow descended from above, it was the Dark Capital's strength Biao. It opened its mouth and bit at Chu Du. If this bite landed, even if Chu Du did not die, he would be heavily injured. At the crucial moment, Chu Du laughed loudly, I finally caught you. At the next moment, a strength path giant hand appeared and grabbed. The Dark Capital's strength Biao was caught off guard, it growled and tried to struggle. But it only lasted for a breath of time before the strength path giant hand grabbed it and slammed it into the ground. Boom! With a loud bang, the earth trembled, rocks flew everywhere, and smoke and dust rose in all directions. Immortal killer move, battle strength evaporation. Chu Du burst out with a powerful aura, his body expanded as he turned into a 10-meter tall giant. His upper body was exposed, his skin was red, all the pores on his body opened up, sweat turned into steam and enveloped his entire body. Immortal killer move, heaven and earth combined strength. Chu Du stretched out his arms and clapped his palms together in front of his chest. At the next moment, the immortals gasped, He Lulan's expression changed. The surrounding 1,000 li was enveloped and restricted by a formless force, the GU immortals could not move, they were like mosquitoes that fell into oil. Affected by this killer move, the Dark Capital's strength Biao's speed fell drastically, its threat to Chu Du fell to rock bottom. This is almost a quasi-battlefield killer move. He Lulan gritted her teeth, Chu Du's move was more exquisite than she had expected. I didn't want to use it. He Lulan snorted internally, before activating Expend Strength Immortal GU in her Immortal Aperture. This rank 7 Immortal GU was secretly lent to her by Longevity Heaven. Other than that, there was a killer move that used Expend Strength Immortal GU as the core, it was called 70% Expend Strength. The situation was dire, so He Lulan immediately activated this technique. When this move was being prepared, it was soundless. When it was unleashed, its aura would suddenly erupt. It was swift and violent. Chu Du tried to dodge, but he didn't manage to do so. After being hit by this move, each of his movements, even his killer moves, required more than half of his strength. He Lulan took advantage of Chu Du's decline to launch another fierce attack. The battle entered a white-hot stage, and both sides were in a deadlock. The spectating immortals quickly retreated, leaving the range of the heaven and earth combined strength killer move. They calmed down and continued to watch the battle. No matter what the result of this battle is, these two are peak rank 7s in Northern Plains. With such terrifying battle strength, they can probably challenge rank 8 GU immortals. Chu Du, Black Moon, in the current world, they are the pillars of strength path. The GU immortals sighed deeply. At this point in the battle, be it He Lulan or Chu Du, they had already won everyone's admiration. They were evenly matched, the immortals were even more interested in the final outcome of the battle. Amazing, this is amazing. Chu Du had many fractures, his robe was dyed with blood, but he laughed loudly, this battle made him excited. He Lulan gritted her teeth and did not speak, she was at a disadvantage again. The reason was still battle experience. Chu Du was superior to He Lulan in every minute detail. Little by little, they affected the entire battle. He Lulan tried all ways to salvage the situation, but the more rushed she was, the more flaws there were, Chu Du could take advantage of them. He was clearly hit by my 70% expended strength killer move, how can he still have such endurance? Chu-do did not tire at all. Hei Lulan could not help but feel bewildered. Chu-do had deep strength. Hei Lulan was already using her full strength, but she could not take down Chu-do currently. She could only hope that 70% expended strength killer move would tire Chu-do out. However, another dozen or so rounds passed. Before Chu-do got tired, Hei Lulan was already at a complete disadvantage. She was in a precarious situation. Hei Lulan gritted her teeth. She was not willing to lose. In this situation, she could only take a risk. At the next moment, the Dark Capital's strength Biao growled and pounced at Hei Lulan. Hei Lulan did not retreat. She moved forward instead, fusing into the Dark Capital's strength Biao's body in the air. With a burst of black light, the Dark Capital's strength Biao's huge body shrunk at lightning speed, turning into a half-beast half-human form. It stuck to the surface of Hei Lulan's armor like smoke or an illusion. This was a higher level of usage of totem killer moves. GU immortals and totems were closely connected. Their battle strength would rise sharply. Chu-do, lose. Hei Lulan shouted. Her tiger wings flapped as she instantly appeared in front of Chu-do. Chu-do raised his arms. Hei Lulan's fists landed on his arms. A huge force exploded like thunder. The surrounding air exploded as Chu-do flew out uncontrollably. Chu-do stomped on the ground, creating a long trench. He was still flying back when Hei Lulan suddenly appeared above Chu-do. Boom. With another heavy blow, Hei Lulan sent Chu-do crashing into the ground. Bam bam bam. Hei Lulan floated in the air, her punches rained down like a storm. The ground shook, smoke billowed. The terrifying power made many GU immortals pale. Lord Chu-do. Godfather. Chu clan's GU immortals shouted with worry. Hei Lulan was too powerful. She was suppressing Chu-do. He could not retaliate at all. Enough is enough. Stop, Hei Yu. Chu-do's voice came from the pit. He spoke with much difficulty. Hei Lulan ignored him. Her punches rained down. Is Chu-do admitting defeat? Wu Guang asked excitedly. Something is wrong. Master's condition is not good. Chen Cheng's expression changed. With his reminder, everyone realized that Hei Lulan's gaze was like that of a wild beast. She had lost her rationality. She was only using her killing instinct to control her killer moves. Chu clan's GU immortals were overjoyed. There is still hope. Great. As long as First Supreme Elder survives this, we will win. This killer move is too strong. Fairy Black Moon's killer move activation failed. She might even lose her life due to the backlash. But right at this time, a figure pounced out. It was Chu-do. But Chu-do's next action was out of everyone's expectations. He forcefully endured the intense attacks, disregarding his own life. He forcefully got close to Hei Lulan and placed his hand on Hei Lulan's shoulder. A shockwave spread out. Hei Lulan and the Dark Capital's strength Biao separated. Hei Lulan regained her rationality. Her pupils shrunk. She was shocked to find that her left fist had pierced through Chu-do's right chest. But Chu-do used his method to save her, preventing her from suffering the terrifying backlash of the killer move. Why? At once, Hei Lulan fell into deep confusion. But right at this moment, the Dark Capital's strength Biao's ferocity did not diminish. It appeared behind Chu-do and bit down. Stop! Hei Lulan shouted in her mind. Her thoughts burst out. She wanted to stop the Dark Capital's strength Biao. In this situation, Chu-do would definitely pay with his life if he was hit like this. But the Dark Capital's strength Biao was not under Hei Lulan's control. It was extremely ferocious. Right when Hei Lulan thought that Chu-do was going to die, a powerful aura burst out of Chu-do's body. The killer move arrived immediately, sending the Dark Capital's strength Biao flying. The immortals were shocked. Rank 8 cultivation level? Chu-do became a rank 8 GU immortal? My first Supreme Elder is rank 8. When did he advance? Hei Lulan stared with wide eyes, staring at Chu-do. Why? While saying this, she pulled back her left hand from Chu-do's chest and placed it on his shoulder. A killer move was activated by Hei Lulan, but it was not an offensive method, it was a healing killer move. Chu-do's expression was pale as he accepted her goodwill, smiling at her. Ever since you went around challenging people, I have been paying attention to you, Fairy Black Moon. Do you know? Even if you did not challenge me, I wanted to fight you. A fair fight. Because Strength path has been lonely for too long. I'm really happy that you're here. Let us continue like this, Black Moon. Revive strength path, let it shine again. Chu-do expressed his thoughts. Looking at his shining eyes, He Lulan was speechless. The dark capital strength Biao was repelled by Chu-do, it flew back. But now, He Lulan had regained control of it. The dark capital strength Biao was damaged in many places, it rested on He Lulan's body. He Lulan gave Chu-do a deep look before leaving. Before she left, she said, Chu-do, you've won this battle. In this battle that affected Northern Plains GU Immortal World, even though Chu-do won, the result was out of everyone's expectations. Chu-do displayed rank 8 cultivation level, he became a high-level character among GU Immortals, be it himself or Chu clan, their reputation soared. During the intense battle, Chu-do first sealed his cultivation level and fought with Fairy Black Moon with only rank 7 cultivation level. Finally, Chu-do disregarded his own life and saved Fairy Black Moon. All of these made the neutral GU Immortals have a good impression of him. Even Yin Wu Qiu, Chen Cheng, Wu Guang, and others who supported Fairy Black Moon felt admiration towards him. After returning to Chu clan, one of his adopted sons suggested holding a celebratory banquet and inviting immortals to use this battle to raise Chu clan's reputation. But Chu-do rejected it. Chu-do kept a low profile regarding this battle. However, becoming a rank 8 GU Immortal still had a huge impact on the current situation in Northern Plains. A few days later, Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven announced a shocking piece of news at almost the same time. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal revived, while Guiyue Fang Yuan became a refinement path demon Venerable. The world was in an uproar, immortals were shocked. Chapter 2240. The fascinating thing about Venerable GU was not just the charismatic main character, Guiyue Fang Yuan, but also the other characters that left a deep impression. It could be said that Venerable GU was not just a biography of Fang Yuan, it was also a grand stage where countless characters would show their prowess. By Ningbing, He Lulan, Wu Yong, Wu Shuai, Peng Da, Lady White Rabbit, Li Xiaobai, Zhon Budu, Empress Wu Ji, Tai Ruo Nan, Shongshin Ci, Yang Sanmu, Lu Wei Yin, Yi Fan, Hong Yi, Han Li, Duke Long, Qin Ding Ling, Fairy Myrtle, Che Wei, Guiyue Fangjing, Yuan Qiongdu, Thunder Ghost True Monarch, Chen Yi, Li Huang, Flesh Whip Immortal, Golden Hooped Immortal, Feng Joga, Fairy Bai Qing, Feng Kim Hoang, Zhao Lianyun, Wang Xiao Song Zi Xing, Bo Qing, Wan Dan, Di Zongxing, Shabi 95. Maro Li Qiu, Qing Chou, Bing Sai Chuan, Chu-do, Dongfang Naganori, Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu, Ma Hongyun, Old Ancestor Shui Hu, Zishan Makoto, Qin Bai Sheng, Nai Kuang Feng, Bu Tian Kong, Three Crazed Demon Eccentrics, Shen Shong, Song Yishe, Xiehan Mo, Zuizian Wang, Miao Mingshen, Shi Clan's first Supreme Elder, Fang Gong, Fang Di Chang, Thousand Transformations Ancestor, Long Hair Ancestor, Old Eccentric Tian Nan, Old Immortal Kong Ju, Hu Immortal Land Spirit of Langya, the 10. Venerables, Primordial Origin, Star Constellation, Limitless, Reckless Savage, Red Lotus, Genesis Lotus, Thieving Heaven, Giant Sun, Spectral Soul, Paradise Earth, Great Dream, Mythology's Human Ancestor, Verdant Great Sun, Desolate Guiyue, Northern Dark Ice Soul, Boundless Forest Samsara, Blazing Glory Lightning Brilliance, Myriad Gold Wondrous Essence, Great Strength True Martial, Carefree Wisdom Heart. Among these characters, there were pure humans and variant humans, there were sinister heroes and kind-hearted girls, there were mortals and GU immortals, there were losers and winners. There were unfathomable legends, and there were also valiant heroes with outstanding achievements. They cultivated all kinds of paths and possessed all kinds of GU worms. They had their own stories, their own pain, their own misfortunes, and also their own glory and fortuitous encounters that belonged solely to them. They also had their own ambitions. Some were selfish, some were thinking for the sake of their race, and some even surpassed their race and loved the world. Among these characters, there would definitely be some that would make you laugh, or move you to tears, or even hate them. Perhaps you have something to say to them? Then, Come and participate in the book friend character selection. Currently, there was only the main character, Fang Yuan, in the character list of this book. It was completely empty. Who can accompany the protagonist, Fang Yuan, and become the symbolic character of this book? Participating steps. There was a post under Venomous Insect Master's character selection thread in Chijian's book review and comment section. Chapter 2241. Fang Yuan returned to Eastern Sea. Under the setting sun, the sea surface was dyed red. Seabirds were chirping, the sea breeze was gentle. This place was still some distance away from Eastern Sea's Xia clan headquarters, but it was not far. This is good. Fang Yuan quickly descended, landing on a small uninhabited island. Several investigative killer moves were used. Fang Yuan knew the entire island like the back of his hand. He did not find any threats or mysteries. Fang Yuan directly used the 5 regional limit formation. Soon, 5 colored smoke mixed together and enveloped the entire island, before spreading from the sky, the sea surface, and the bottom of the sea. If he was still rank 8 now, after escaping from Crazed Demon Cave, he would choose to go to Eastern Sea's Xia clan headquarters, or go to a place like Immemorial White Heaven to hide and recuperate. But Fang Yuan had rank 9 cultivation level now. He was a Venerable, he could act openly. If Star Constellation Immortal Venerable or Giant Sun Immortal chased after him now, Fang Yuan would be more than happy to see it. Fang Yuan slowly closed his eyes, his divine sense surged as he entered the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. He had several beads of rank 9 Immortal Essence. Rank 8 Immortal Essence was called White Lychee Immortal Essence. Rank 9 Immortal Essence was slightly larger. It was like an apricot and had an orange-yellow color. It was Yellow Apricot Immortal Essence. Fang Yuan was already familiar with the characteristics of rank 9 Immortal Essence. After all, he had obtained some Immortal Essence left behind by Giant Sun Immortal and Spectral Soul Demon Venerable long ago. But at this moment, he was still slightly agitated. After all, this was Yellow Apricot Immortal Essence that belonged to him. Using Yellow Apricot Immortal Essence, Fang Yuan activated a method. Refinement Path Killer Move Refine Self. A pale yellow light the size of a fist flowed out of Fang Yuan's dantian. Next, the pale yellow light slowly flowed and covered Fang Yuan's entire body. The focus was on the injuries on Fang Yuan's body. Fang Yuan had hundreds of injuries on his body, most of them were only treated roughly before he returned. Even now, there were still many wounds that were bleeding. Specks of starlight or golden light shone on the bones or in the mangled flesh. The pale yellow radiance flowed in, and wherever it went, the starlight would dissipate and the golden clouds would vanish. This meant that the Tao marks that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal left on Fang Yuan were all refined by Fang Yuan. However, the process of refinement was not pleasant. Intense pain kept coming. Fang Yuan's entire body trembled, and his face turned pale. Soon, his forehead was covered in cold sweat. Finally, the pale yellow light stopped on Fang Yuan's severed arm. This lasted for an hour before the pale yellow radiance dissipated. Fang Yuan exhaled a mouthful of turbid air and slowly relaxed. After resting for a while, he immediately activated the compound killer move man as before. In the next moment, all the injuries on his body disappeared, and his severed arm was completely restored. However, when Fang Yuan held the new hand, he still felt a little weak. But this was already enough to satisfy him. Fang Yuan's injuries were severe, but Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal were also not in a good state. Fang Yuan was almost certain that their healing efficiency was lower than his. Because Fang Yuan had the killer move Refine Self, this killer move could rapidly refine the Tao marks on a GU cultivator's body and turn them into his own. This method originated from Fang Yuan's previous killer move, self-cleansing. Fang Yuan used this to refine all the Tao marks left behind by the Flying Star killer move during the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, directly breaking Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's Flying Star killer move. His physical injuries were healed, and his soul was also at its peak state. Fang Yuan started to deal with the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. The Sovereign Immortal Aperture was first struck by Giant Sun Immortal's killer move, causing calamities and tribulations. Almost at the same time, under Fang Yuan's secret manipulation, it attacked the Heavenly Dao's blockade and suffered the chaotic calamity. The entire sovereign immortal aperture suffered heavy losses, its foundation fell sharply. Compared to before Crazed Demon Cave, it had less than 20% of its original foundation left. It was simply a scene of devastation, it was a tragic sight. However, even before the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, I had already expected this situation and made preparations for it. Fang Yuan focused his mind, thoughts surged as he activated the compound immortal killer move landscape as before. The sovereign immortal aperture's middle year essence pool, as well as the various year essence branch pools, were completely opened. The accumulated water of the river of time formed a vast phantom river under the effect of landscape as before. It quickly engulfed the mini-5 regions and the mini-9 heavens. The phantom water of the river of time quickly disappeared, but what was left behind were many resource points, mountains, and rivers that were restored to their original state. The GU immortals in the sovereign immortal aperture saw this and cheered. Their morale was greatly boosted. Fang Yuan let out a breath of air. Back then, when he created the year essence pool and created the time path zones, he had already planned to coordinate with landscape as before. With this method, the water of the river of time in the year essence pool almost dried up. Many of the time path zones only existed in name. The sovereign immortal aperture's time difference with the outside world was greatly reduced. It would take a long time for the year essence pool to accumulate enough water of the river of time to increase the sovereign immortal aperture's time speed again. The sovereign immortal aperture thus recovered 40% of its foundation. This way, the sovereign immortal aperture only lost 40% of its foundation. It greatly reduced the amount of time, effort, and resources that Fang Yuan needed to rebuild it. 40% of the losses were caused by the chaotic calamity. Landscape as before was not an effective killer move. The GU immortals who died in the chaotic calamity could not revive through human sea. There were many other losses. The immortal essence losses were huge. The vast amount of rank 8 immortal essence reserves was now left with only 10%. It had fallen below the danger line and was in a dangerous situation. This was one of the reasons why Fang Yuan stopped and did not make things difficult for Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. The good news was that Fang Yuan was a Venerable now. The rank 9 Yellow Apricot Immortal Essence that he produced was far more durable than White Lychee Immortal Essence. The bad news was that the rank 8 Immortal GU Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus that had once given Fang Yuan a huge amount of help to his immortal reserves was now sharply decreasing. At the same time, the Sovereign Immortal Aperture's time flow was close to the outside world. Fang Yuan's immortal essence storage efficiency was not high. And in the near future, Fang Yuan needed to rest and manage his immortal aperture while refining the natural Dao marks of the outside world. He needed a lot of immortal essence. The immortal essence shortage is huge. Immortal Yuan Stone is already of little use to me. If I increase the sovereign immortal aperture's time flow regardless of the consequences, it is not appropriate either. Fang Yuan frowned slightly. Venerables faced a grand tribulation every 10 years, a myriad tribulation every 50 years, and a chaotic disaster every 100 years. Grand tribulations and myriad tribulations, unless they were dream path or pill path, did not pose much of a threat to Fang Yuan. What Fang Yuan was wary of was the chaotic disaster that occurred every 100 years. Even though he had already survived a chaotic disaster in Crazed Demon Cave. But this was only a heavenly Dao blockade. The scale of the chaotic disaster was far smaller than the chaotic disaster that occurred every 100 years. If the sovereign immortal aperture's time flow increased too quickly, Fang Yuan would quickly attract a chaotic disaster. If he did not handle it well, he would be heavily injured or even die. Other venerables would take advantage of him. Immortal essence replenishment was a problem. Other than this loss, Fang Yuan also lost a large number of immortal GU. During the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, after the GU immortals died, Fang Yuan did not take back their immortal GU or immortal apertures. Moreover, the 7 immortal GU houses that Fang Yuan took out, including Rising Cloud City, were all lost in the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. Fang Yuan's immortal GU losses this time, other than Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven, none of the other super forces could afford it. Thankfully, during the middle and later stages of Crazed Demon Cave, Fang Yuan consciously reduced his losses in this aspect. For example, when Zhon Budu died, his will sent many precious transformation path immortal GU into jewel yellow skies. Other than immortal essence and immortal GU, many GU immortals also died. Steel Rush Warrior, Frost Butterfly Eternal Life, Xiao He Jian, Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch, and even Fang Yuan's clone, Zhon Budu, died in the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. Some died in the Sovereign Immortal Aperture while resisting the calamities and tribulations. Most of them were revived through human sea, they needed to cultivate to become immortals again. The other group of people could not be revived. Among these people was the rank 8 GU Immortal, Last Combat Beast King. His death made Fang Yuan feel a trace of regret. This old man was a hard-working person, he was of great help to the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. Unfortunately, he was burned to death by the Black Fire. Fang Yuan could not revive. Other than these material losses, Fang Yuan also suffered a large number of hidden losses. The most important thing was that his killer moves were exposed. In the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Fang Yuan had no choice but to expose a large number of compound killer moves and trump cards. For example, Refined Self, Totem killer moves, and so on. As time passed, these killer moves could not be used anymore, they needed to be modified. If he fought against other Venerables in the future, using the same killer moves would bring huge risks to Fang Yuan. Compared to these losses, Fang Yuan gained much more. In the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Fang Yuan had huge gains, he was the undisputed #1 winner. Firstly, Fang Yuan plundered the first 7 layers, he obtained a vast number of chaotic Dao Mark immortal materials. In the 8th layer of Crazed Demon Cave, he used Thieves' Den to obtain a vast number of rank 9 immortal materials. These rank 9 immortal materials were enough for him to advance to rank 9 immortal GU refinement. Second was Primordial Domain. Fang Yuan's Primordial Domain was about the same as Giant Sun Immortals, it was slightly inferior to Star Constellation Immortal Venerables. Primordial Domain's value was huge, especially to Fang Yuan. Third was Paradise Earth's Northern Plains Paradise Earth True Inheritance, as well as his Heaven Path cultivation results. These included how to digest the truthful floating ice and raise his Heaven Path cultivation level. Fourth was Information. After the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Fang Yuan gained a detailed understanding of Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, Giant Sun Immortal, Celestial Court, and Longevity Heaven. He was no longer as confused as before. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal's methods, their combat system, Celestial Court's Door of Life and Death Immortal Graveyard, White Clouds Suppressing City Painting Path Formation, Ruan Dan's Pill Path, Longevity Heaven's 8 Extremes Formation, Calamity Luck Alters Luck Changing Golden Light Path, and so on. The 5th gain was also Fang Yuan's greatest gain. His cultivation level rose, he became a Venerable. This was a qualitative change at the peak. From today onwards, he had turned from a chess piece to a chess player, he could openly make arrangements in the world and rule over the 5 regions. In the history of humanity and variant humans, his name had to be recorded. At this point, he stood side by side with the previous 10 sages, he was like the sun that illuminated the world. The other GU immortals, no matter how heroic they were like stars in the sky. Guyue Fang Yuan, the 11th Venerable of the GU cultivation world. A demonic cultivator who became a Venerable through refinement path. According to the title promoted by Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven, Heaven Refining Demon Venerable. Chapter 2242. Eastern Sea. Shen Clan's headquarters, Red Sandalwood Myriad Sparrow Island. An elderly GU immortal was standing in front of a stone door, waiting silently. The elderly GU immortal was emitting rank 8 aura, he had a high status, he was the current first supreme elder of Shen Clan, Shen Tsongsheng. Rumble. The stone door of the secret room opened as 2 GU immortals walked out. The leader wore a grey robe, he had long black and white hair that draped over his shoulders, it was Shen Shong. He cultivated human path. Hiding in Divine Emperor City was a fortuitous encounter for him. After breaking out of Divine Emperor City, the black fire in his immortal aperture had completely healed, His battle strength had risen to pseudo-venerable battle strength. After Shen Shong walked out of the stone door, he stopped at the side and smiled at the Gu immortal behind him. "Friend Lu, please." This Gu immortal wore simple clothes made of sackcloth. His body was strong like a bear, he wore a conical hat, half of his face was pale and weak. It was Lu Wei-yin, who had survived Crazed Demon Cave. Lu Wei-yin cupped his fists. "Senior Shen's human path methods are extraordinary, 30% of my injuries have already healed. I can only repay this favor in the future." Shen Shong laughed heartily. "Friend Lu, don't worry about it, you don't need to call me senior. In Crazed Demon Cave, we fought side by side, we cooperated closely, with such camaraderie, we can treat each other as equals." Shen Sheng smiled and said, "The two of you, the banquet has been prepared, please come with us." Before Lu Wei-yin could be modest, Shen Shong laughed heartily, grabbing his arm and passionately bringing him into the banquet. The banquet was held outdoors, it was at the peak of red sandalwood Myriad Sparrow Island. There were only 3 pavilions. Shen Shong sat at the main seat, Lu Wei-yin sat at the guest seat, and Shen Tsongsheng sat at the end. There was no need to mention the delicacies and wine on the stone table. Lu Wei-yin only took a small sip as he looked into the distance. The sea was like a mirror, there were no waves, the setting sun was shining brightly, the clouds were like fire. "What a beautiful scene!" Lu Wei-yin praised. At this time, countless birds were chirping on the island, countless red sandalwood branches shook slightly, creating a beautiful melody. For a moment, the sounds of nature mixed together and spread far and wide between the vast sea and sky. Lu Wei-yin could not help but reveal a look of indulgence. He closed his eyes and admired it. After a long time, he slowly opened his eyes and spat out a mouthful of turbid air. "I've long heard of the Eastern Sea's Shen clan's red sandalwood 10,000 Sparrow Islands reputation. Seeing it today, it really lives up to its reputation. To be able to come out of the Crazed Demon Cave alive and witness this scene, my heart is at peace. Sigh, it's good to be alive." Lu Wei-yin's strength was already at the peak of rank 8, his defense was even more outstanding among pseudo-venerables. However, the battle in the Crazed Demon Cave had fully allowed him to feel the feeling of being weak. Not mentioning the hardships, Lu Wei-yin was on the verge of death many times. Thinking back to those dangerous situations, Lu Wei-ji still had lingering fear. Shen Tsongsheng was instantly curious. If not for the Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven's announcement, the entire 5 regions would still be in the dark. What exactly happened in Crazed Demon Cave? Not only did Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable revive, even Guyue and Fang Yuan became Heaven-refining Demon Venerable. Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven both suffered losses, even though their gains were not small, Fang Yuan was the biggest winner. Thus, they did not give any detailed information about Crazed Demon Cave. Now that the world was in an uproar, after the Gu Immortals' shock, they were filled with immense curiosity. Shen Tsongsheng was one of them. Lu Wei-yin and Shen Shong looked at each other as they talked about the battle in Crazed Demon Cave with complex expressions. After Shen Tsongsheng heard it, he was silent for a long time. Limitless Demon Venerable's pursuit, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's scheme, Giant Sun Immortal's strength, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's regret, as well as Guyue and Fang Yuan's patience. The scale of this battle was simply too high. As for Demon Immortal Qi Ju, Zhon Budu, Qi Si Ancestor, Lu Wei-yin, and Shen Shong, they all became foils. The price of this battle was also extremely shocking. Pseudo-venerables like Zhon Budu and Demon Immortal Qi Ju died. Fang Yuan lost close to 100 Gu Immortals, while only half of Longevity Heaven's 8 extremities remained. In Crazed Demon Cave, countless living beings including Nai Kuangfeng, Bu Tian Kong, and Duan Hu perish. In the end, Limitless Demon Venerable failed in his pursuit of eternal life. Fang Yuan became the biggest winner. Shen Tsongsheng frowned as he asked the 2 immortals, "I still have 3 things that I don't understand. Firstly, if I were Limitless Demon Venerable, why would I be in such a hurry and take such risks? With such strength, I can even suppress the world. If this Crazed Demon formation failed, I might as well set up another one." Shen Shong shook his head. Limitless Demon Venerable was determined to pursue the Tao. He had 1,000,000 years of accumulation and planning. How could he be satisfied without testing it? Lu Wei-yin added, his state back then probably could not last for long. He seemed to have revived, but he was not a living Gu immortal. At least, when he died, he did not lose his flesh and immortal aperture, he turned back into many truthful floating ice pieces. So that's it. Shen Tsongsheng nodded as he asked, secondly, did spectral soul demon Venerable really leave him alone in the void of crazed demon cave's 9th layer? Lu Wei-yin pondered. Spectral soul demon Venerable was controlled by star constellation immortal Venerable at first. His emotions surged and he almost lost his memories. He only vaguely remembered Lord Paradise Earth. Later, when spectral soul demon Venerable was released from the door of life and death by star constellation immortal Venerable, he actually took the initiative to suppress the hole in the world wall. It was truly out of our expectations. He did not regain his memories and rationality like I had expected. His emotions became emotionless. He could be said to be emotionless. He even treated the hole in the world wall as his biggest target. He used his body to suppress it, ignoring everything else. His state was strange. He was like a soul beast. Shen Shong said, why did spectral soul demon Venerable become like this? Lu Wei and I had discussed it long ago, but there was no conclusion. In my opinion, the Venerables do not have a definite answer, they are at most guesses. After Fang Yuan gained the upper hand and snatched the final truthful floating ice piece, while spectral soul demon Venerable focused on suppressing the hole in the world wall, the 3 Venerables gave up. After the entire battle in Crazed Demon Cave, they were also very weak. Since spectral soul demon Venerable is dealing with the hole in the world wall, it is a wise move to ignore it for now. Saying so, Shen Shong looked at Lu Wei-yin and continued, as for how to deal with it in the future, whether spectral soul demon Venerable will regain his rationality or not, we cannot estimate that. Lu Wei-yin nodded, his expression turning solemn. Spectral soul demon Venerable was bloodthirsty, he had not regained his rationality, he could only stay in the 9th layer, unable to break out. But if he regained his rationality, the 5 regions and 2 heavens would not be at peace. Shen Tsongsheng asked at the end, thirdly, that Fang Yuan's scheme to become a Venerable has already been exposed by star constellation immortal Venerable and giant sun immortal. But I do not understand, why does Fang Yuan have so many new killer moves? Those compound killer moves, those totem killer moves, and most importantly, Dang Hun Luo Po Seal, as well as the killer move that uses Dang Hun Mountain, Luo Po Valley, and Reverse Flow River. I cannot understand it. It would be fine if it were other aspects, but Fang Yuan's expertise in wisdom path has always been in defending against deductions of others. His wisdom GU was also destroyed in the Celestial Court. How could he have such great gains in his killer moves? Don't tell me, he also made huge progress in wisdom path? But isn't this progress a little too huge? Forget about Dang Hun Luo Po Seal. The killer move that allowed him to escape from the door of life and death easily used 3 secluded domains of heaven and earth as the cause. He even managed to replicate a life path. Lu Wei-yin and Shen Shong shook their heads, expressing that they did not know. The former sighed, if not for Fang Yuan being so unexpected, he would not have become the biggest winner. The latter said, I have many guesses about this. The 3 immortals ate as they talked, discussing these guesses. After eating and drinking, Shen Tsongsheng took out cups and made tea for Lu Wei-yin and Shen Shong. Lu Wei-yin watched for a while before noticing something, asking with great interest, could it be 6 sound tea? Shen Tsongsheng smiled, it is just a small trick, please allow me to make a fool of myself. Lu Wei-yin said with a solemn expression, Shen Clan's 6 sound tea is famous in the world, to think that I would be able to taste it today. In Luck Path, there is a saying, after extreme misfortune comes bliss. There is also a saying, after surviving a great disaster, one is bound to have good fortune. Haha, I am truly fortunate today. 6 sound tea was a set of tea with a total of 6 small cups. The brewing process, temperature, type of cup, order of drinking, and specific drinking method of these 6 small cups of tea were all extremely detailed. Shen Tsongsheng continuously used rank 8 immortal materials to make the first cup of tea. It was called Autumn Tung Sound. The tea was clear and bright, it was like the clear autumn sky, untainted by even a speck of dust. When the tea entered his throat, Lu Wei-yin felt a refreshing and sweet sensation. His mind was clear and clear, without any trace of pollution. He felt carefree, like he had turned into a bird or a breeze, flying in the autumn sky, forgetting all worries. Shen Tsongsheng made the second cup of tea. It was called Cloud Flow Sound. This tea had a unique texture. It was soft like cotton instead of tea. But it melted in his mouth, turning into a cold stream of water that flowed down his throat into his stomach without any obstruction. He made the third cup of tea. It was called Jiang-yi Sob. But halfway through, Shen Tsongsheng's tears flowed down. He failed to make the tea. I am ashamed, I am ashamed. Shen Tsongsheng quickly wiped his tears and apologized. Lu Wei-yin had benefited from Shen Shong's treatment and Shen Clan's hospitality. He knew that the highlight of the show was coming. He asked, Shen Clan's first Supreme Elder, why are you crying? Shen Tsongsheng said, thank you for your concern. I am so ashamed that I am shedding tears. My Shen Clan has been established for 1,000 years. Who would have thought that in my generation, I, Shen Tsongsheng, am incapable and immoral, causing my Shen Clan to be on the verge of destruction? This great red sandalwood myriad Sparrow Island, Shen Clan has millions of people. They are all going to turn into illusions. Shen Shong heaved a long sigh. Lu Wei-yin said, are you worried about Fang Yuan? That's right. Not long ago, I received news that this Lord Demon Venerable has returned to Eastern Sea. He is on a mortal island. 5 restriction profound light chi covers the surrounding 10,000 li. I am worried and fearful. Shen Clan is worried and fearful. Eastern Sea's Gu immortal world is even more worried and fearful. Shen Tsongsheng said this as tears flowed down his face again. P.S. Thank you to the old alliance leader Hysterical Elegance for your generous rewards. Thank you for your support. Congratulations to 3rd Lang Ya4 becoming the new alliance leader. Chapter 2243. The dignified Shen family's first Supreme Elder really had tears streaming down his face at this moment. Of course, Shen Tsongsheng's fear of Fang Yuan was part of it, but more than that, he had other plans. Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven announced it together. This news could not be fake. Fang Yuan became heaven-refining demon venerable, while Qi-Si Ancestor was Fang Yuan's clone. The whole world knew about this. Previously, Eastern Sea's righteous path had always supported Qi-Si Ancestor. They created the Righteous Qi Alliance to resist Fang Yuan's variant human alliance. It turned out that the leader of both sides was Fang Yuan. It could be said that all of the super clans of Eastern Sea's righteous path were toyed with by Fang Yuan. After Shen Tsongsheng learned of this, he felt ashamed and angry, but soon, he felt fear and unease. Shen Clan was an Eastern Sea superforce. It had a lot of assets and controlled 7 seas. How could they face Fang Yuan? Previously, when Fang Yuan was still a pseudo-venerable, Eastern Sea's superforces disregarded the past and worked together to elect Qi-Si Ancestor, barely stabilizing the situation. But now that Fang Yuan became a pseudo-venerable, Shen Clan and the other superforces could not escape. Because their foundation was in Eastern Sea, they could not move. Even if they moved, where would they go? Firstly, they could not go to southern border or western desert, because they did not have venerables protecting them. If Fang Yuan was unhappy and pursued the matter, they would be doomed. Next, Central Continent and Northern Plains had venerables as leaders. They could resist Fang Yuan. But there were many superforces there. How could there be room for outsiders like Shen Clan to develop? If they were oppressed by Fang Yuan in Eastern Sea, would they not be oppressed by Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal in Central Continent and Northern Plains? The 5 regions' chaotic war was inevitable. If Shen Clan sided with other venerables, they would be used as cannon fodder when the war erupted. Thus, Shen Tsongsheng gathered the clan's Gu immortal elites and discussed for a long time. They felt that pledging allegiance to Fang Yuan was the best choice now. Although it was a little shameful, Fang Yuan had become a demon lord after all. Anyone would understand. After Shen Tsongsheng made up his mind to rely on Fang Yuan, he thought about it further. Since he was going to rely on Fang Yuan, the Shen family would be the first to do it, and it would definitely be more beneficial. If Shen Clan took the initiative to link up with pseudo-venerables like Lu Wei-yin and instigate other Eastern Sea righteous path forces to side with Fang Yuan, they would definitely leave a good impression on Fang Yuan. Shun Tsungsheng secretly reported this plan to Shun Shong. Shun Shong thought about it for a long time and felt that it was feasible. And it was best to convince Lu Weiyin first. Shun Shong felt that there was a high chance of convincing Lu Weiyin. Even though he rarely met Lu Weiyin, they had a deep relationship. Shun Shong had received pointers from Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable, while Lu Weiyin was Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's true inheritor in southern border. According to the relationship between sects in Zhengzhou State, the two of them could be regarded as fellow disciples. Furthermore, during the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Lu Weiyin and Shun Shong had been fighting side by side and did not have any dirty thoughts. This time, Shun Shong took the initiative to use human path methods to heal Lu Weiyin's injuries. If he relied on Lu Weiyin's earth path methods alone, it would take a long time. At once, Shun Tsungsheng cried while Shun Shong sat at the side and drank tea, waiting for Lu Weiyin's reaction. Lu Weiyin sighed internally. He had already understood. Shun Shong and Fang Yuan's relationship was unclear. During the Fate War, they had worked together to resist the Celestial Court. During the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Shun Shong left Divine Emperor City and immediately fought against the Celestial Court because of Fang Yuan's words. Then what about Lu Weiyin? Where should he go from here? Lu Weiyin had actually considered this problem for a long time. After the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, the situation of the world changed again. 3 venerables faced off, and there was still the possibility of other venerables reviving. Everything needed to be reconsidered. As a pseudo-venerable, Lu Weiyin was clear of his position. Fighting against a venerable was courting death. But under certain circumstances, pseudo-venerables could still influence the outcome of a fight between venerables. Just look at the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. When Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal fell into a deadlock, they recruited Fang Yuan and the other pseudo-venerables. These people were the best bargaining chips to tilt the scales of victory. In Crazed Demon Cave, even when the 3 venerables stopped fighting, Fang Yuan and the rest did not deal with Lu Weiyin and the rest. Other than the fact that the 3 venerables were not in good condition and were wary of each other, they could not take the risk. If they could not kill these pseudo-venerables, they would be forced to join other venerables instead. Thus, Lu Weiyin and the rest returned safely. Lu Weiyin pondered, if Lord Paradise Earth was still alive, I would definitely follow Lord Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. During the pursuit battle, I helped Fang Yuan ambush Spectral Soul because I wanted to borrow Fang Yuan's strength to revive Lord Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. But now, Lord Paradise Earth was actually killed by Fang Yuan. Lu Weiyin gritted his teeth. He had an indignant expression. If Paradise Earth was killed by either Giant Sun Immortal or Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, Lu Weiyin would feel slightly better. But the truth was that Fang Yuan killed Paradise Earth. And the reason why Fang Yuan was able to escape from Spectral Soul was because of Lu Weiyin's desperate ambush. Shun Shong observed his expression. He knew that Lu Weiyin could not calm down. He could understand Lu Weiyin's conflicted emotions. Shun Shong did not speak. He had received Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's favor. It was not appropriate for him to speak now. Shun Tsungsheng, however, did not have this concern. He urged, in my opinion, Lord Lu Weiyin, there is no need to be too conflicted. Back then, you helped Fang Yuan. It was mostly because of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's final orders. After pausing for a moment, Shun Tsungsheng continued, furthermore, even though Fang Yuan took Lord Paradise Earth's life, that was only the final blow. But that was only the final attack. The main culprits were Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Lu Weiyin sighed to the sky. He had no choice but to nod and say, that makes sense. He smiled bitterly. The situation has changed, the world has turned upside down. Without Lord Paradise Earth, I, Lu Weiyin, would only be a fugitive. Right now, even though the Mushroom Man Blessed Land is still around, the Mushroom Men have already entered the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. They are Fang Yuan's hostages. I am in a dilemma. I cannot calm my emotions. Shun Shong, we have a deep friendship from battle. I wonder if you have any ideas. What can you teach me? I will definitely listen. Shun Shong coughed. I will not hide it from you. I am probably going to join Lord Heaven refining demon Venerable. In fact, back when we were in the Blue Dragon Whale, we already had an agreement with Lord Fang Yuan. Afterwards, we cooperated and went through the Fate War, as well as the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. We cooperated several times. Lord Fang Yuan did not mistreat my Shen clan. Of course, to say that Fang Yuan was trustworthy, that was pure nonsense. He was a demon Venerable after all. It is just that Shen clan's foundation is here. The future is uncertain if we move. After thinking about it, I can only do this. GU immortals could not cultivate without resources. Shen clan was a huge clan with many GU immortals. They needed a huge amount of resources to maintain their own cultivation. They also needed to nurture new GU immortal seeds. Of course, every GU immortal had their own immortal aperture. But it was hard to be self-sufficient just by relying on the resources in the immortal aperture. If they could do this, jewel yellow skies would not be so prosperous. The sovereign immortal aperture could be self-sufficient, but it was unique. Even though it could be refined again, it involved many immortal materials, the 10 extreme physiques needed to be prepared, and the GU refinement process also required tribulations. The investment and risk were too great. Hearing Shen Shong's words, Lu Weiyin nodded with a heavy expression. Brother Shen has helped me a lot. Since you have decided, I, Lu Weiyin, will follow you this time. Shen Shong and Shen Tsongxing looked at each other, muttering internally, sly old fox. Lu Weiyin said this because he wanted to use his decision to repay Shen Shong's favor for healing him. Sure enough, a pseudo-venerable like Lu Weiyin was a genius among geniuses. He could not be deceived under normal circumstances. Shen Shong coughed. It is for the best that Lu Weiyin has made this decision. In the future, we will be able to take care of each other. Shen Tsongxing quickly went along with this suggestion. He suggested using Shen Shong and Lu Weiyin, with Shen clan as the leader and the other Eastern Sea superforces to join Fang Yuan. Lu Weiyin had already expected this. He nodded and agreed to it on the spot. Shen Tsongxing made 6-sound tea again. After tasting the tea, Shen Shong brought the satisfied Lu Weiyin into the stone room to continue healing his injuries. Lu Weiyin and Shen Shong's injuries were severe. A single treatment was definitely not enough. Even if Shen Shong used human path methods, he would need some time to get rid of the venerable Dao marks on his injuries. Early in the morning of the second day, Shen Tsongxing set off to visit the other super clans. His plan was progressing quite smoothly. Originally, these superforces were all based in Eastern Sea, but when they heard that Shen Shong and Lu Weiyin were going to join Fang Yuan, they all heard about it. Demon Immortal Qi Ju had already died in Crazed Demon Cave. There were only 3 pseudo-venerable battle strength experts left in the world. Among these 3, Shen Shong and Lu Weiyin were going to join Fang Yuan, while the remaining Qi Si ancestor was the righteous Qi Alliance leader, Fang Yuan's Qi Path clone. This example was too powerful. Eastern Sea's other superclans quickly followed suit. Of course, not everyone wanted to join Fang Yuan. Xia Xian, Xia Jiu, and several other GU immortals had already decided to leave Eastern Sea and defect to the righteous Qi Alliance the moment the Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven made the announcement. These Xia clan GU immortals were truly pitiful. Their foundation was first annexed by the variant Human Alliance. They then joined Qi Si Ancestor, wanting to recover their lost territory. However, Qi Si Ancestor and Fang Yuan put on a show and killed Xia Ruiji and the other Xia clan GU immortals. This demon Fang Yuan killed my clansmen and annexed my foundation. This enmity is irreconcilable. Eastern Sea, I will return one day. Let's go. If we don't, Zuixian Wang will come to patrol. Don't worry. For today's escape, I found some rare wine for Zuixian Wang. According to his nature, he will be dead drunk by now. Xia clan's GU immortals conversed as they flew close to the surface of the sea, leaving Eastern Sea and entering Central Continent. Zuixian Wang watched them from afar until he could no longer see them. This elderly GU immortal sighed deeply. He had a worried expression. He was already regretting it. He should not have agreed to Qin Dingling's request back then. Right now, he was hiding in the righteous Qi Alliance with the identity of an insider of the Celestial Court. The Celestial Court had secretly given him instructions a day ago. It was to let these Xia clan GU immortals go. I did it this time, the mission was easy, but what about next time? Zui Xianwang thought about how Fang Yuan had venerable cultivation level, all the wine lost its taste. How did he become a venerable all of a sudden? Chapter 2244. Venomous person of venomous worms, please wait for a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. Chapter 2245. A thin bamboo skewer with 5 cicadas on it was being roasted over the fire. The bamboo stick was not ordinary, the fire was also not ordinary, and these 5 cicadas were all rank 5 fire path GU worms called purple smoke cicadas. Once it was instilled with quintessential essence, it would emit thick purple smoke that would cover the entire world. If it was in the mortal world, every purple smoke cicada would cause GU masters to fight over it, but right now, they were only food. The person roasting the cicadas wore a white robe and had thick hair. Even though he was sitting on a folding stool, he still revealed his tall and thin figure. It was the Northern Plains rank 8 GU immortal, Heavenly Lord Baizu. Heavenly Lord Baizu had a hobby that was famous in Northern Plains GU immortal world. He liked cooking GU worms and would occasionally create such delicacies. Apart from enjoying the delicacies he made himself, he would also reward the members of the Centipede clan. Any GU immortal who obtained such a reward would feel extremely honored. This was a sign that Heavenly Lord Baizu appreciated. Sometimes, Heavenly Lord Baizu would invite some GU immortal friends as guests and personally cook for them. At this moment, Chu Du was sitting in front of Heavenly Lord Baizu. He was the only guest that the latter had invited. Chu Du kept chewing, and there was only one purple mist cicada left on the bamboo stick in his hand. Brother Chu, how's the taste? Heavenly Lord Baizu asked with a smile while roasting the cicadas. Chu Du laughed and said, "The taste is excellent. Who would have thought that after being roasted, the purple smoke cicada would actually have the deliciousness of chicken mixed with a hint of sweetness of taro. When you eat it, it's crunchy and crispy. One skewer is definitely not enough." Ha ha ha. Heavenly Lord Baizu laughed. As everyone knows, I am an itinerant cultivator. A long time ago, I roamed Northern Plains without clothes to cover my body and food to fill my stomach. Once, I failed to capture a wild GU worm and crushed it. Half a month of hard work went up in smoke. I can't bear to. He was angry and hateful. I cooked the GU worm and ate it. The smell was terrible. I had diarrhea for 7 days and 7 nights and almost died because of it. After this disaster, I've become even more ruthless. From then on, I swore that after I became rich, I would often eat GU to take revenge. Heavenly Lord Baizu's eyes were like clouds. Chu Du was silent. Heavenly Lord Baizu had never said such words to him before, and it felt like he was opening his heart to him. Chu Du knew that this was because he had exposed his rank 8 cultivation level and was on equal footing with Heavenly Lord Baizu. Heavenly Lord Baizu laughed and changed the topic. "This roasted cicada is just a quirk of mine. They only wanted the delicacy on the tongue, but there were no practical benefits. Unlike the superpowers with deep foundations, most of these superpowers had famous teas and wines that had been passed down and improved over the generations. Among them, there are even some excellent products. I heard that eating and drinking them can increase your Dao marks." Chu Du nodded as he analyzed the situation. Ever since the Battle of Yi Tian Mountain, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable has been very active. His food path methods are extraordinary. The Celestial Court was their enemy, and they once focused on studying the esophagus, which was quite fruitful. And when the Qi tide swept through the world, I heard that there were 5 to 6 food path inheritances exposed. Most of these inheritances were sold into jewel yellow skies. One person sold many copies, allowing more people to benefit. Because of all these, food path gradually spread. Heavenly Lord Baizu nodded as he sighed. "Fate is destroyed, the 5 regions are won, the 3 venerables rule the world, chaotic war is about to happen." This was something that had never happened in the history of the human race. Food path originated from beast men, there were some that were hidden by some people, but in this great era, Food path cannot be hidden anymore. I wonder how many food path experts will appear in the future. Food path is like this, strength path will also not remain the same. Brother Chu, your ambition to revitalize strength path is almost impossible in normal times. But in such a great era, there's a lot that can be done. Chu Du laughed heartily. When he fought with Fairy Black Moon earlier, he did not hesitate to get heavily injured to save He Lulan, thus everyone could see his ambition. Chu Du's eyes shined. It is still too early. Right now, there are less than 5 strength path experts in the 5 regions. Other than me and Fairy Black Moon, only Western Desert's Fang Clan's first Supreme Elder is the most famous. To revitalize strength path, we need to attract more GU masters to cultivate strength path. I am powerless to change the environment, but I can create more strength path experts and trigger this trend. Heavenly Lord Baizu finally found a topic and interrupted. Brother Chu, you seem to have forgotten about a strength path expert. In his early years, he relied on strength path methods. But now, this person is high above us, looking down on us like a bird's eye view. Chu Du was stunned before realizing that Heavenly Lord Baizu was talking about Guyue and Fang Yuan. Chu Du knew Heavenly Lord Baizu's intention in mentioning Fang Yuan, so he cooperated and said with a solemn expression, Guyue, Fang Yuan was actually able to advance to Venerable, it was truly out of my expectations. Thinking back to the first time I met him, I felt that he was extraordinary and unfathomable. Later, I fought alongside him several times, and found that this person has a persevering temperament and is both brave and intelligent. Anyone with such a temperament would not stay under others for long. But his identity is special, he is the person chosen by Providence for rebirth, and was the only person that many Venerables placed their hopes on to destroy fate. His life's encounters and dangers are so strong that no one can compare to him in history. So, he was able to reach the final step and become one of the strongest in the world. After my initial shock, I analyzed it and felt that it was only natural. Heavenly Lord Baizu heard this and nodded repeatedly, that's right. Next, Heavenly Lord Baizu subconsciously lowered his voice and leaned forward, asking Chu Du, I wonder if Brother Chu has contacted this heaven-refining demon Venerable recently? Chu Du did not answer directly, but asked, oh? Brother Baizu, you want to? Heavenly Lord Baizu spread his arms and smiled bitterly. In the current situation, Brother Chu, why ask when you already know the answer? You and I don't know each other without fighting. Even though we both established our own clans, we have always been ostracized in Northern Plains. If it was a normal era, you and I would both have rank 8 cultivation level, other than Central Continent, as long as we do not die in any of the other 4 regions, we would be able to establish ourselves. But now, we are in an unprecedented great era. Giant Sun Immortal has revived. He has a special title, people call him Protective Immortal Venerable. My Baizu tribe was able to establish our force because we annexed He tribe's foundation. And He tribe has the Huang Jin bloodline. To speak the truth, Brother Chu, I have not been able to eat or sleep these last days, I am very worried. Chu Du quickly consoled, no matter how protective Giant Sun Immortal is, Brother Baizu has rank 8 cultivation level. Longevity Heaven has been unifying the whole of Northern Plains GU Immortal world, if we kill you, we will lose everyone's support. If Giant Sun Immortal was the only one left in the world, our lives would be in danger. But now, with the 3 Venerables, there is still hope and hope. Heavenly Lord Baizu still had a bitter expression, however, there are countless ways to deal with them. Brother Chu, ever since our tribes were established, we have been ostracized by the other Huang Jin tribes. Haven't we learned enough of their methods? Giant Sun Immortal does not need to attack us, he only needs to push our tribes to the front lines in a chaotic battle and use us as cannon fodder, it is a simple matter. Chu Du heard this and nodded slightly. Heavenly Lord Baizu's words were exactly what he was worried about. Heavenly Lord Baizu wanted to contact Fang Yuan through Chu Du, but he did not want to join Fang Yuan immediately. After all, Fang Yuan was known as Heaven-Refining Demon Venerable by Longevity Heaven and the Celestial Court. Fang Yuan's nature was known to the world, ruthlessness and ruthlessness were a part of it. Heavenly Lord Baizu wanted to leave a way out for himself in case he needed it in the future. His idea was also Chu Du's. To speak the truth, I have not contacted Fang Yuan for a long time. Chu Du sighed, speaking the truth. Chu Du continued, my relationship with Fang Yuan is known by almost everyone in the world. O giant sun immortal, if I contact Fang Yuan, the risk is too high. If it's exposed, it'll be an unexpected disaster. That was what he said. But Chu Du had already made up his mind. While the three venerables were resting, he would secretly contact Fang Yuan and create a way out for himself and Chu clan. The news of the three venerables coexisting shocked the world. After the shock, all the forces and GU immortals started to think about their current situation. Almost at the same time, Fang clan's first supreme elder, who was mentioned by Chu Du as a strength path expert, was also discussing with the other clan's GU immortals. In the study room, Fang clan's first supreme elder Fang Gong was sitting, speaking with a tone of lingering fear. To think that Fang Yuan actually became a demon venerable. Thankfully, our clan did not reject Fang Yuan back then, we made a deal with him. Otherwise, if we offended this person, we might have been able to resist him back then, but now, we would have to face his revenge, our clan would fall into a crisis of survival. At the side, Fang clan's third supreme elder, rank 7 GU immortal Fang Hua Sheng, said, speaking of which, it is not a big deal that our Fang clan has been deceived by Fang Yuan for so long. After all, he is someone who can become a venerable. Fang Di Chang snorted coldly, showing an unhappy expression. He had a deep grudge with Fang Yuan. Back then, he wanted to plot against Fang Yuan, but was killed by Fang Yuan. His soul was later released by Fang Yuan as a bargaining chip. Fang Yuan obtained a vast number of soul cores, thieves' den, and other items from Fang clan. Now that Fang Di Chang had a body again, even though he only had rank 5 cultivation level, he was already actively preparing for his immortal ascension. His cultivation level fell sharply, but his status did not change. After all, his adopted son Fang Yun was supporting his faction, he was still trusted and valued by Fang clan. Even though Fang Di Chang's wisdom path methods were very weak, he still had the big picture. He sneered, analyzing, don't look at how Fang Yuan has already become a demon venerable, the current situation is unprecedented. 3 venerables coexisting in the world, this has never happened before in history. And among these 3 venerables, there is a subtle difference. Look, the celestial court exposed that giant sun immortal created and cultivated blood path, and also claimed that Fang Yuan is heaven refining demon venerable, he is the strongest. Longevity Heaven refuted the celestial court, saying that giant sun immortal cultivated blood path, it was a benevolent act to benefit the world. At the same time, they criticized Fang Yuan as a demon venerable. Among the 3 parties, only Fang Yuan did not say anything. After the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, he has been resting in Eastern Sea. From this, it can be seen that Fang Yuan is still the weakest among the 3 venerables. In the future, there will be a great battle between the 3 venerables. It is not that I have no hope of revenge. And my Fang clan is located in the depths of Western Desert, it is an excellent location. In the future, when the 5 regions fight, the border forces will definitely be in chaos. My Fang clan only needs to keep a low profile and quietly develop. If there is a winner among the 3 venerables, we will join them. If all the venerables die, our Fang clan will have no hope of becoming the overlord of Western Desert. Fang Gong and Fang Hua Sheng heard this analysis and nodded slightly. Chapter 2246. Finally, Fang Di Chang emphasized, looking at the 5 regions, Northern Plains, Central Continent, and Eastern Sea all have venerable leaders, Southern Border also has a Righteous Path alliance. Only our Western Desert is still divided, we are in a state of disunity. It can be said that our Western Desert is the weakest among the 5 regions. In this situation, we cannot take the initiative to set an example. If other forces try to recruit us, we will secretly join them and prioritize our clan's benefits. Earlier, our Fang clan was attacked because we obtained Divine Emperor City. We cannot make such a mistake again, it would be too foolish to become everyone's target. Fang Gong and Fang Hua Sheng nodded again. Even though Fang Di Chang's cultivation level was low, he still had his vision. Southern Border. Heavenly Blue Mountain, Luo clan's headquarters. In the main hall, almost all of Luo clan's GU immortals were gathered. Those who did not come personally had sent their wills to participate. Luo clan's first supreme elder Luo Zhu only had rank 7 cultivation level. He looked around and said, "With the reign of 3 venerables, a chaotic war is about to break out. What should Luo clan do? If you have any ideas, please speak them out." Luo clan's GU immortals looked at each other. Soon, one of them spoke. This person cultivated Space Path. He was Luo clan's General Luo Ran. He had peak rank 7 battle strength. He was even stronger than First Supreme Elder Luo Zhu. Luo Ran spoke, "Everyone, the news of the reign of 3 venerables is shocking. I have thought about it for a long time. If I were any one of the 3 venerables, I would first annex southern border and western desert. After all, we have to pick on the weak. If the 3 venerables start a war, it would not be good for Eastern Sea, Central Continent, and Northern Plains. The wisest decision would be to strengthen ourselves and annex more territories and resources before fighting with the venerables. Our Luo clan is at the northern end of southern border, closest to Central Continent. If star constellation Immortal Venerable attacks southern border, our Luo clan will be the first to bear the brunt." Luo clan's immortals nodded with cold expressions. Ever since the 5 regional walls disappeared, their pressure had been increasing day by day. At the same time, he was also secretly thinking about the way out for himself and the Luo family. Luo Ran continued, "With 3 venerables coexisting, unless a venerable appears in southern border, even if all the southern border GU immortals unite and work closely together, we are not the match of any one of the 3 venerables. The other superpowers located in the hinterlands might still have room to wait for the right price. Our Luo family is located at the border of the southern border and the Central Continent. I'm afraid that once there's a conflict, we'll have to make the first choice." The moment he said that, the Luo family immortals all became slightly restless. One of them stood up and said angrily, "Luo Zhu, are you saying that our Luo clan will surrender without a fight? Do you not care about our Luo family's reputation of being upright for generations? Have you abandoned our Luo family's honor of upholding justice?" Everyone looked at her. The one who had questioned her was Luo Fei. Next, many Luo clan GU immortals agreed with Luo Fei. "When our Luo clan was glorious, we were close to the Wu clan's position. How could you do such a cowardly thing? Yes, it's true that venerable ones are invincible, but in the current era, there are 3 venerable ones in this world, so it's not impossible for other venerable ones to revive. The future is full of possibilities. We cannot give up now. In my opinion, none of the 3 venerables are worthy of our clan joining them. Celestial Court is a sect system. If our Luo clan joins them, we will have to change the system. Giant Sun Immortal is a protective immortal venerable. Northern Plains by Zhu tribe and Chu tribe have been ostracized by the Huang Jin bloodline. And Heaven Refining Demon Venerable has many old grudges with our clan. If we lower our heads to him, even I will look down on myself." Seeing everyone's anger, Luo Ran quickly waved his hand. "Everyone, I did not consider this thoroughly." Luo Fei stared with wide eyes. "Lord Luo Ran, you are the #1 expert of our Luo clan. If even you have such thoughts, then it's too disappointing." Luo Ran showed an ashamed expression. "I was wrong." Luo Fei continued, "From what I see, the situation is not very dangerous. The 3 venerables are wary of each other and restraining each other. They will not attack so easily. In the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Demon Immortal Qi Ju, Xiao He Jian, and the rest have already died. Fang Yuan's subordinates suffered great losses. Even he is still recuperating. Eastern Sea has not been evaluated yet. He does not have the strength to invade other regions. Furthermore, even though Southern Border does not have a venerable, we have the Southern Alliance and the Alliance leader, Lord Wu Yong. During the Fate War, Lord Wu Yong led our Southern Border righteous path. He has never disappointed us. Why can't we have some expectations for him, for ourselves?" After saying this, Luo Fei sat down. But many Luo clan GU immortals nodded. They felt this was reasonable. Luo clan had a good impression of Wu clan. Because back then, when Luo clan explored Qiju Grotto Heaven and was pursued, they asked Wu clan for help to preserve their clan's strength. 15 minutes later, Luo Zhu announced the end of the meeting. Only Luo Ran stayed behind for a secret discussion. "This time, it was hard on you," Luo Zhu said apologetically. Luo Ran shook his head. "Submitting to Central Continent was my original intention. But after today's probing, Luo clan does not want to lower their heads easily, they feel they are submitting. On the other hand, that information path Immortal GU is only Crane Gate's intention. Even if our Luo clan decides to join Central Continent, we need to at least get in touch with Celestial Court, right?" Luo Zhu sighed. "Our Luo clan has always been a righteous clan. I am lacking in virtue. I am deeply worried about our clan's safety. But you are right, the time is not ripe yet. We should continue to maintain contact with Crane Gate secretly." Central Continent, Crane Gate. Lush green trees, a cool breeze brushed past. In a pavilion at the waist of the mountain, a young GU immortal was playing a jade flute. The sound of the flute was melodious, an immortal crane was flying in the sky. The young GU immortal wore a snow-white robe, he was gentle like jade, his dark green eyebrows were long and slender, reaching his waist. It was He Fengyang who cultivated enslavement path, he was called Winged Crane Flying Immortal. "I succeeded in my tribulation this time and advanced to rank 7. To think that the moment I came out, I would hear news of 3 Venerables in the same era. Not only did Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal revive, there is also a newly advanced heaven-refining demon Venerable, Guyue, Fang Yuan." He Fengyang had complex emotions. Back then, he was the one who instructed Master Tensuru to go to southern borders Gua village, to deal with Fang Yuan and obtain Hu Immortal Blessed Land. If I had hardened my heart back then and made a move personally, would I have been able to kill Fang Yuan directly? This thought appeared in He Fengyang's mind. But soon, He Fengyang shook his head. There was a high chance that he would fail. Because behind Fang Yuan, there was the entanglement of Providence and the other Venerables. But even if there was a possibility of getting rid of Fang Yuan, what was the point of saying this now? Fang Yuan was already a demon Venerable. And He Fengyang had just advanced from rank 6 to rank 7. He Fengyang felt a lot of disappointment and envy in his heart. He had cultivated bitterly for so many years, but he could only watch as Fang Yuan rose from a mortal to a Venerable in the end. He had left him far behind, he could not even see Fang Yuan's back. But as he listened to the flute music, He Fengyang's emotions gradually calmed down. Everyone has their own fate. Fang Yuan was able to have his current accomplishments, other than fortuitous encounters, he also had his wits and risked his life. He saw through the chaotic situation many times, but he still died many times. And I am not without hope. During peaceful times, enslavement path is a waste of the sect's resources. But the 5 regions' chaotic war is about to start, and I cultivate enslavement path, the sect will definitely place more importance on me, I will receive more resources and care. Furthermore, I acted on my own and secretly used Crane Gate's name to send an information path Immortal GU to southern borders Luo clan to recruit them. Luo clan's first Supreme Elder did not immediately destroy the information path Immortal GU, this is already a clear indication of his attitude. If this succeeds, it will be a huge merit, the sect contribution points will be very high. At that time, I will exchange for the Celestial Court's immortal pill for you to become an ancient desolate beast. He Fengyang looked at the 9 palace crane flying in front of him and smiled. This 9 palace crane was a desolate beast, it had a close relationship with He Fengyang. It had once been affected by the time path Immortal GU turn back, from an adult to a youth, then to a child. He Fengyang actively healed it, he paid a huge price and finally restored it to its original state. Eastern Sea. 5-colored smoke surged and shrunk, eventually entering Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture. Fang Yuan sat cross-legged on the nameless island, there was nothing in front of him, there was no longer any smoke. Next, he saw a large group of GU immortals walking over. When they were 1,000 steps away from him, they landed on the sea surface and kowtowed to him, submitting to him. These people were Eastern Sea's righteous path GU immortals, the first supreme elders of the various clans were here. Among them, Pseudo-Venerable Shenshong and Lu Wei Yin were the leaders. Fang Yuan was slightly dazed before understanding, He laughed heartily. A wise man submits to circumstances. Everyone, stand up. From today onwards, I will treat you and my subordinates equally. The immortals immediately showed expressions of gratitude. They said in unison, we pay respects to heaven refining Demon Venerable, we are willing to give our all to Lord Demon Venerable. But Fang Yuan shook his head, let me announce it to the world. At the same time, he communicated with jewel yellow skies and announced, what heaven refining Demon Venerable? I don't accept this title. Shen Shong and the rest were stunned. I am not of the demonic path, I am of the righteous path. Everything I did before was for the welfare of the people of the world. I disregarded my own life and went through countless dangers to destroy fate, to give the people of the world complete freedom. However, I was suppressed by the rotten forces like the Celestial Court. They tried to obstruct me. I am good friends with Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. During the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, he entrusted me to imitate Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. After becoming venerable, I will devote my life to the harmony of the 5 region. Everyone, do not listen to the rumors. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable was not killed by me. Star Constellation and Giant Sun worked together to kill him. Fang Yuan said righteously. Shen Shong and Lu Wei Yin could only look at him in a daze. The other leaders of Eastern Sea's righteous path also felt like they had heard wrongly. Fang Yuan's voice became louder. Everyone, remember this, I, Gue Fang Yuan, am Great Love Immortal Venerable. From today onwards, I will create the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. It will benefit the world and bring harmony to the 5 regions. This news spread rapidly in jewel yellow skies. All the GU immortals in the world knew about it. Be it Chu Du who was grilling skewers with Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu, the 3 leaders of Fang Clan who were discussing in private, the Luo Clan immortals, or He Fengyang, they all received this shocking information. But Fang Yuan did not stop, he continued. He directly threw out a list in Treasure Yellow Heaven. There were a vast number of GU worms in the list. As long as the GU Masters and GU Immortals paid the appropriate price, Fang Yuan would refine GU worms for them. No matter the size of the mortal GU, or even rank 8 immortal GU, he could refine them. The 5 regions were in an uproar. This is the promise of I, Gue Fang Yuan, a refinement path venerable. GU worms are the core and foundation of our GU cultivation. But they have always been too few, especially immortal GU. Because of this, the first thing I, Gue Fang Yuan, will do to benefit the world is to refine immortal GU for everyone in the world. No matter what grudges we had in the past, no matter if we were enemies or friends, I will disregard the past and refine GU for everyone equally. This will prove my love for everyone. I know your worries. But the truth is, I have already transacted with many forces and GU immortals. I have refined many immortal GU for them. For example, Western Desert's Fang Clan, I have transacted with them many times. These are all evidence. In Western Desert, Fang Gong, Fang Di Chang, and Fang Hua Sheng stared with wide-opened eyes. Fang Di Chang, who had just emphasized keeping a low profile and not becoming the target of everyone, had a pale expression. For example, Southern Borders Wu Clan, I have refined more than 1 rank 8 immortal GU for Wu Yong. The evidence is all here. Wu Yong, Luo Clan, Luo Fei held her head, her heart felt like it was breaking. Why? Lord Wu Yong, you are actually secretly working with Fang Yuan. Why? For example, Northern Plains Bai Zhu Clan, I have many intentions to cooperate with Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu, we have been in frequent contact. Fang Yuan continued to declare. Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu was like a statue, the bamboo skewer in his hand was already burning. Chu Du looked at him as if saying, brother, what's wrong with you? Since you are already secretly communicating with Fang Yuan, why did you use my channel to contact Fang Yuan earlier? Fang Yuan continued, not just Northern Plains, even Central Continent has it. For example, He Fengyang of Crane Gate, I have interacted with him in my early years, we can be said to have gotten to know each other through fighting. Slander, this is pure slander. He Fengyang was so angry that he threw the jade flute in his hand on the ground, his body trembling. Finally, Fang Yuan said, whether you believe it or not, it is up to you. There is a risk, but what if it is true? Why don't you give it a try? Everyone, please have some trust in me. A long time ago, many people misunderstood me. So, please let me prove to everyone in the world that I am great love immortal Venerable. Fang Yuan finished his declaration. On the surface of the sea, winds were blowing. The Eastern Sea Gu immortals who were kneeling on the ground looked up at Fang Yuan with dazed expressions. Looking at them, Fang Yuan smiled warmly. Everyone, get up. You have all joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. You will receive even more benefits. I promise. P.S. When the update was about to start, I made some urgent adjustments, so I updated it late. This chapter is 4,000 words long. Combining this chapter with the previous one, the effect is even better. Chapter 2247. Li Xiaobai followed several information path Gu immortals as they carefully concealed themselves. Xiaobai, black and white heavens are fusing together now, there are intense fluctuations and the environment is dangerous. When the dog group comes, watch and don't move, understand? The leading rank 7 information path Gu immortal instructed. Li Xiaobai quickly nodded. Yes, I will listen to seniors. He was very obedient, he did not have the arrogance of a great scholar. This made the information path Gu immortals present have a good impression of him. Li Xiaobai had advanced to rank 6 long ago, he was an information path Gu immortal. And because of his aptitude, he was the most favored Gu immortal junior in profound literature Grotto Heaven. These information path Gu immortals came from profound literature Grotto Heaven, they were at least rank 2 officials in the imperial court. Profound literature Grotto Heaven had a special system. Gu immortals gradually entered the imperial court, most of them held important positions in the court. After Li Xiaobai became a Gu immortal, he would also work in the imperial court in the future. The only exception was old immortal Hua Yu. He had rank 8 cultivation level, he stayed behind the scenes and controlled the situation. They're here. A moment later, the investigating Gu immortal spoke. The immortals quickly used several more killer moves to conceal themselves even deeper. Soon, Li Xiaobai saw a large group of remnant heavenly dogs, they stepped on the void and charged over. These were ancient desolate beasts of Spacepath, they ate Spacepath Gu worms as food. There are a total of 368 remnant heavenly dogs, and 4 heaven-swallowing dogs. Li Xiaobai cultivated information path, he was most skilled at gathering information, he immediately understood the size of the dog group. Remnant heavenly dogs were ancient desolate beasts, after growing to a certain stage, they could become heaven-swallowing dogs. Heaven-swallowing dogs were immemorial desolate beasts, they ate 9 heavens fragments, blessed lands, and grotto heavens as food. They had always been a huge threat to the 2 heavens grotto heaven. As the dog group got closer, the Gu immortals in profound literature grotto heaven started to cooperate and use killer moves. This information path killer move spread out soundlessly and quickly. At first, there were no changes in the dog group, but after a dozen breaths of time, 3 of the heaven-swallowing dogs stopped moving, they bared their teeth and looked in the same direction, showing vigilance. The remaining heaven-swallowing dog also slowed down. The 4 heaven-swallowing dogs barked at each other, 3 of them brought most of the remnant heavenly dogs and changed their route, moving in another direction. The last heaven-swallowing hound led the other 20-odd remnant heavenly hounds back to their original path. Profound literature Grotto Heaven's Gu immortals had been hiding themselves, only when these dogs were out of sight did they reveal themselves and let out sighs of relief. Alright, it's done. Most of the hounds have been misled by us into thinking that there's plenty of food in that direction. They're actually a bunch of soul beasts. Haha, those soul beasts were also planted with information path methods. After the dogs charge over, they will mistakenly think that the soul beasts are hiding immortal apertures. Let them kill each other. The remaining heaven-swallowing hound was not bewitched, it is likely that it has a wild immortal Gu. But with this scale, Sir Hua you can handle it. Little White, did you see that? In the future, when your cultivation level rises to rank 7, you will need to complete these missions frequently. Our profound literature paradise cannot move at all. It looks like it has shrunk to a point and is entrusted to the void, but there are still many dangers that need to be resolved in advance. Li Xiaobai quickly replied, I will definitely work harder. This group of GU immortals immediately moved, following the path of that heaven-swallowing hound. This heaven-swallowing hound was leading some remnant heavenly hounds, but they were ambushed along the way. They were surrounded by old immortal Hua Yu's battlefield killer move. After a huge battle, the heaven-swallowing hound died. There was indeed a wild immortal GU, but it was destroyed in the battle. A few remnant heavenly hounds escaped. They escaped through the cracks of the battlefield killer move. They cultivated space path after all. They had the ability to escape. But soon, they ran into Li Xiaobai's group. After a few rounds of killer moves, these remnant heavenly hounds turned into minced corpses. Li Xiaobai also made a move. He expended some immortal essence, but it did not have much effect. But he showed an excited and unsatisfied expression. The other information path GU immortals saw this. It deepened their impression of him as a cute junior. Old immortal Hua Yu stopped the battlefield killer move. The immortals quickly greeted him. Old immortal Hua Yu nodded. He looked at the crowd and smiled at Li Xiaobai. He was also very appreciative of this young junior. In his heart, Li Xiaobai had a good background. He was the most outstanding GU immortal that appeared in the Grotto Heaven in the last 100 years. He represented the future of profound literature Grotto Heaven. Sigh. To think that Qi-Si ancestor is heaven-refining demon Venerable Fang Yuan's clone. Fang Yuan is crafty and sinister. I was deceived by him. If not for Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven exposing the truth, I might have been used by him. What great love immortal Venerable. This can only deceive ghosts, right? Sigh. Outsiders cannot be trusted. Only these GU immortals in front of me are trustworthy. Qi-Si ancestor had once personally helped profound literature Grotto Heaven. Thus, old immortal Hua Yu had always respected Qi-Si ancestor. After joining the Righteous Qi Alliance, he had always followed Qi-Si ancestor's lead. But now that Qi-Si ancestor's identity was exposed, old immortal Hua Yu's previous respect for Qi-Si ancestor was replaced by his anger and humiliation. Old immortal Hua Yu felt uneasy, but his expression was calm as he took charge of the situation. He ordered a portion of GU immortals to clean up the battlefield and remove the traces, while sending a portion of GU immortals to investigate the surroundings. They were all information path GU immortals. They quickly cleaned up the battlefield, leaving no obvious clues behind. Other investigative GU immortals also brought back information. The heavenly wind Qi wall between the immemorial two heavens has mostly dissipated. The fusion of the two heavens has become even more intense. Not only are the beast groups of the two heavens fighting each other, the original Tao marks of the two heavens are also changing intensely. Some are in conflict with each other, some are tangled together. They are hard to separate. Actually, the heavenly wind Qi wall had started to dissipate long ago. Now that the 5 regional walls were gone, Qi tides were sweeping the world. The fusion of the two heavens was also at its most intense. This caused intense turbulence. The Grotto Heavens in the two heavens were facing endless trouble. The dog group earlier was a huge threat to profound literature Grotto Heaven. Fortunately, they were dealt with in advance. What made old immortal Hua Yu and the other information path GU immortals worried was not just the current problem, but also the overall situation of the 5 regions and 2 heavens. Fang Yuan came out of seclusion, publicizing himself as Great Love Immortal Venerable and creating the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Lu Wei-yin and Shen Shong, the 2 pseudo-venerables, immediately led the Eastern Sea Righteous Path superclans to pledge their loyalty to Fang Yuan. Thus, the Righteous Qi Alliance and Variant Human Alliance joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Old immortal Hua Yu and the rest were in an awkward situation. Speaking of which, they and Granny Skeleton were also members of the Righteous Qi Alliance. But all along, their foundation was in the two heavens, thus they were ostracized by the Eastern Sea superforces. Originally, this was nothing. Old immortal Hua Yu, Granny Skeleton, and the rest only needed to cling on to Qi-Si ancestor. But now, Qi-Si ancestor's identity was exposed. He was actually the clone of their greatest enemy, Fang Yuan. The person they had been clinging on to was Fang Yuan. Old immortal Hua Yu, Granny Skeleton, and the rest were stunned. And the changes in the two heavens caused them to be exhausted from dealing with them. Right at this time, Fang Yuan declared himself as Great Love Immortal Venerable. This declaration shook the world. The Gu immortal world of the 5 regions was in an uproar. Gu Fang Yuan had been ruthless ever since he started cultivating. He slaughtered countless people. He was definitely a demonic path member. How could he cleanse himself with just a few words? If cleansing oneself was so easy, what was the use of the world's righteous path? Old immortal Hua Yu scoffed inwardly, but he felt very refreshed. Fang Yuan's declaration was simply a joke. But with the support of a demon Venerable's cultivation level, who dared to laugh? Did they not see that Eastern Sea's righteous path was the first to lower their head? Even if Longevity Heaven and Celestial Court mocked and ridiculed him, what could they do to Fang Yuan? We can't delay any longer. Fang Yuan has already taken in Eastern Sea's righteous path. Our 2 heavens forces cannot wait any longer. But should we join Fang Yuan, the Celestial Court, or Longevity Heaven? Profound Literature Grotto Heaven was not above Central Continent or Northern Plains. This was the reason why old immortal Hua Yu joined the Righteous Qi Alliance. Joining Fang Yuan now was naturally the most convenient. But if that happened, Profound Literature Grotto Heaven would definitely be lost. Why? Everyone knew that Fang Yuan had the sovereign immortal aperture. The Grotto Heavens of the 2 heavens were his targets for annexing apertures. Since they could not protect their homeland and were destined to be abandoned, why must they join Fang Yuan? Honestly speaking, old immortal Hua Yu was very disgusted with demons like Fang Yuan. Old immortal Hua Yu's thoughts became active, his options had widened. But how to choose was a problem. Longevity Heaven. At the center was Calamity Luck Altar. Calamity Luck Altar was divided into 4 directions, forming the 4 desolations. The surroundings of the 4 desolations were divided into 8 regions, the 8 extremities. The sky of the 4 desolations was covered in golden light. In the sky of the 8 extremities, there was a green halo. It had been some time since Giant Sun Immortal returned to Longevity Heaven. Whoosh! There was a soft sound. The final star path Dao marks on Giant Sun Immortal's body turned into a spark and vanished. My injuries are completely healed. Giant Sun Immortal let out a breath of air. Next, I need to refine the luck path Dao marks of the 5 regions and 2 heavens, to recover my Dao Lord might. In the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had not displayed their full strength as Venerables. Because there were no natural Dao marks in the void for them to refine. If there were, a Venerable's every move would be amplified and strengthened by natural Dao marks. They would become very terrifying. This was like Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, who had the help of a vast number of soul path Dao marks in the door of life and death. But strictly speaking, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable was not a true Dao Lord. After all, his mind was not clear. Giant Sun Immortal had already refined all the luck path Dao marks of the 5 regions when he was alive. But after his death, these luck path Dao marks were gradually controlled by the heavenly Dao. Now, he needed to refine them again before he could use them. Literature Hall. Chapter 2248. The luck path Dao marks in Longevity Heaven were Giant Sun Immortal's immortal aperture to begin with. They were not corroded by providence because they did not devour the 9 heavens fragments. As long as he fought in Longevity Heaven, Giant Sun Immortal's current strength was even stronger than Spectral Soul Demon Venerable in Crazed Demon Cave. Giant Sun Immortal's own luck path Dao marks could not compare to Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. But with the vast Dao marks in Longevity Heaven, it surpassed Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's main body. And most importantly, Giant Sun Immortal's mind was clear. It is a pity that I cannot fuse this original immortal aperture into my body now. Giant Sun Immortal had methods to move his immortal aperture. Once he fused with Longevity Heaven, Giant Sun Immortal's strength would rise sharply. The number of luck path Dao marks in his body would greatly surpass Fang Yuan's limit. By then, he would have no worries in the 5 regions and 2 heavens. After all, Longevity Heaven was the peak cultivation achievement of Giant Sun Immortal's first life. It was the foundation of Giant Sun Immortal's 3 chaotic disasters. And Fang Yuan had only broken through the Heaven Dao restraints once. The chaos that he fought in Crazed Demon Cave was only a small chaotic disaster. But now, for Giant Sun Immortal, it was not time to absorb longevity heaven yet. Because he cultivated blood path in this life. Giant Sun Immortal used blood path as his primary path and luck path as his secondary path. He planned to cultivate both paths. Since he had planned for so long, he naturally had the best blood path dual cultivation method. But his body was not the sovereign immortal body. No matter how he cultivated, the Tao marks would conflict with each other. Right now, Giant Sun Immortal had only started cultivating blood path not long ago. He had many luck path Tao marks but few blood path Tao marks. The difference between them was already at its limit. If he recklessly merged with longevity heaven, the number of luck path Tao marks would increase exponentially. It would suppress the blood path and destroy Giant Sun Immortal's dual cultivation plan. Although I can't retrieve the longevity heaven for the time being, I have a great advantage in refining natural Daoist marks, and that is my celestial core power. The Giant Sun Immortal had the most celestial core power among the three of them. Currently, there were more than 1,000 yellow apricot immortal energy beads. Most of them were left behind in the longevity heaven from his first life. At that time, he had saved a lot of it, but after that, a lot of it was consumed intermittently. In addition, ever since the fall of the Giant Sun Immortal, longevity heaven could no longer produce immortal essence, so in the end, the immortal essence reserve was less than 10%. But this number is definitely the most. Regarding this, the Giant Sun Immortal was very confident. Because he knew that heaven refining demon Venerable Fang Yuan had just advanced, he had 0 rank 9 immortal essence reserves. As for rank 8 immortal essence, even though he had it, it was definitely scarce. This point could be figured out with one's butt. Ever since rebirth, Fang Yuan's cultivation level had advanced by leaps and bounds. He had not been left behind in any of the battles. Furthermore, he had refined so many immortal GU and assembled so many immortal GU houses. With such a huge investment, how much immortal essence would he have left? The thing that Giant Sun Immortal was most satisfied with now was that Fang Yuan was hit by his luck path killer move in Crazed Demon Cave. Fortune depends on disaster. Even though Fang Yuan used this killer move to successfully deceive him, it was not enough. But it was undeniable that the sovereign immortal aperture had suffered huge losses because of this move. Together with the small chaotic disaster, Giant Sun Immortal estimated that the sovereign immortal aperture was in a terrible state. Even if Fang Yuan was like this, star constellation Immortal Venerable's immortal essence reserves could not compare to Giant Sun Immortal. Why? The reason was simple. Because star constellation Immortal Venerable's era was too long ago. Even if she left behind a huge amount of immortal essence, the celestial court's GU immortals would expend most of it in the future. Don't forget, after star constellation Immortal Venerable, 3 Demon Venerables, Limitless Demon Venerable, Reckless Savage Demon Venerable, and Red Lotus Demon Venerable had attacked Celestial Court. When Celestial Court resisted the 3 Demon Venerables, could they not use venerable methods and expend their immortal essence? It is a pity that the two heavens merged, the heaven path Tao marks gathered and the environment changed. I had no choice but to remove luck suppression Heavenly Palace. Otherwise, I would have an even greater advantage now. Giant Sun Immortal took away luck suppression Heavenly Palace because he had no other choice. Luck suppression Heavenly Palace was located in immemorial Black Heaven. Its essence was to create luck path Tao marks and participate in the transformation and operation of heaven and earth, all living beings. Thus, this immemorial Black Heaven above northern plains became Giant Sun Immortal's territory. He could use it for his own purposes. Back then, during the Reverse Flow River battle, Celestial Court had organized an army to invade northern plains, but they suffered a huge loss in immemorial Black Heaven. Most of the losses were due to luck suppression Heavenly Palace. Now, with the fusion of immemorial two heavens, the luck path Tao marks that luck suppression Heavenly Palace had spread out were affected by this change. They became chaotic and shattered. If they forcefully protected these luck path Tao marks and resisted the heavenly Tao's change, the whole of luck suppression Heavenly Palace would be destroyed instead. Over these days, Giant Sun Immortal had been healing his injuries in longevity heaven while thinking about the current situation. He had a clear understanding of it. In the 5 regions and 2 heavens, no matter how the environment changed, it still depended on the victor between venerables. For Giant Sun Immortal, be it Star Constellation Immortal Venerable or Heaven Refining Demon Venerable, they were both unprecedentedly strong enemies. In a short period of time, Giant Sun Immortal could not find a way to eliminate these two enemies, he could only try to weaken them and gain the upper hand. Abundant immortal essence was Giant Sun Immortal's advantage. If I use this advantage well, I can refine all of the luck path Tao marks in the world first. With this foundation, I can definitely gain the upper hand if I attack either of the two venerables. Once I gain the upper hand, I will have to deal a heavy blow to either the Celestial Court or Fang Yuan. If I cannot do this, I will be in trouble. Giant Sun Immortal felt a sense of urgency. If he missed this opportunity and did not grasp his advantage, as time dragged on, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's wisdom path arrangements would become deeper and more difficult to deal with. Furthermore, he had to guard against Star Constellation Immortal Venerable secretly reviving other Celestial Court Immortal Venerables. As for Fang Yuan, it was the same. Right now, he lacked immortal essence the most. Once he had sufficient immortal essence, with his refinement path attainment level, he could refine immortal GU on a large scale, his strength would soar rapidly. Refinement path Venerable. Thinking of Fang Yuan's declaration of great love not long ago, Giant Sun Immortal frowned slightly. He had a premonition that a force that originated from Fang Yuan himself was going to impact the entire GU immortal world. This force was so huge and unprecedented, even Giant Sun Immortal could not estimate to what extent the future would change because of Fang Yuan. After all, in history, there had never been a refinement path Venerable. And refinement path was not the same as other paths. GU cultivation had three main aspects: nurture, use, and refinement. Refinement path was one of them. This was a unique characteristic that other paths did not have. Celestial Court. Cough, cough. In a sealed stone room, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable suddenly coughed out several mouthfuls of blood. The injuries from the battle in Crazed Demon Cave had not fully recovered yet. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable cultivated Wisdom Path and Star Path. In terms of healing, she could not compare to Giant Sun Immortal who cultivated Blood Path. GU Immortal injuries were very troublesome. Venerables were no exception. Celestial Court did not lack excellent healing methods, but for Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, there were very few that were suitable. Because she had too many Wisdom Path and Star Path Tao marks, healing methods of other paths were almost useless. Human path methods were an exception, but Celestial Court did not have any pseudo-immortal Venerable level human path experts. This was the lowest standard to heal a Venerable's injuries. Thus, other than saving herself, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had no other choice. I still have 671 yellow apricot immortal essence beads. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable frowned slightly. I did not have much to begin with, and some were expended during the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. The injuries on my body are stubborn. If I continue to heal them, the yellow apricot immortal essence will be expended again. After that, I will refine the Tao marks in Celestial Court, as well as the natural wisdom path Tao marks of heaven and earth. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable made precise calculations. Her immortal essence storage was ample now, but Wisdom Path had always been planning ahead. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had made even more calculations. This little immortal essence storage would not be enough to refine the Wisdom Path Tao marks of the outside world in the future. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's situation was different from Giant Sun Immortal's. Celestial Court contained a huge amount of Wisdom Path Tao marks, but they did not belong to Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. Because Celestial Court had annexed a 9 Heavens fragment, even though Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had contributed her immortal aperture to fuse with it, the Tao marks that originally belonged to her were all corroded and assimilated by Providence. Of course, during the process of refining the Tao marks of the outside world, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's immortal aperture would also produce rank 9 immortal essence. But Star Constellation Immortal Venerable felt that this process was filled with danger. Giant Sun Immortal and Heaven Refining Demon Venerable were likely to attack. Thus, the more immortal essence storage, the better. Giant Sun Immortal definitely has a lot more immortal essence storage. And heaven-refining demon Venerable Fang Yuan is the weakest in this aspect. But he cannot be underestimated. This man is very special. Star constellation Immortal Venerable thought of this and showed a complex expression. Fang Yuan's declaration regarding great love Immortal Venerable had shocked the world. Giant Sun Immortal was wary of Fang Yuan's refinement path ability, while Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was more concerned about Fang Yuan's nature. Looking at the 10 Venerables in history, Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable had a grand temperament, Limitless Demon Venerable had a crazy Tao addict, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable was bloodthirsty, Reckless Savage Demon Venerable was wild, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable was indifferent, and Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was stubborn. In any case, every Venerable one had a sense of pride within them. As for Heaven Refining Demon Venerable Fang Yuan, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable squinted slightly. She had never seen a Venerable with such a nature. He simply did not know how to write the word shame. He had no sense of shame, directly distorting the truth and lying in such a righteous manner. What great love Immortal Venerable! Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was certain that this was just Fang Yuan's one-sided statement. He was only using it to achieve his own goals. If everyone in the world could turn over a new leaf, then Fang Yuan was the one with the lowest possibility. As long as he felt the need to make a move, he would definitely make a move, no matter how many innocents he killed. By then, Great Love Immortal Venerable's declaration would be thrown to the back of his mind. It would be as simple as a fart. But if he felt that turning over a new leaf was beneficial to him, he would definitely make the same declaration again, without any sense of shame. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable finally understood Fang Yuan. If we say this person has principles, then his principles are that he has no bottom line. If we say this person has a bottom line, then his bottom line is that he has no principles. This was simply a shameless person. However, when Star Constellation Immortal Venerable felt a headache, this shameless person became a Venerable. What made Star Constellation Immortal Venerable even more troubled was that this shameless person could see through people's thoughts to the bone. His actions would definitely cause a huge commotion in the entire GU Immortal world. Everyone would gather to follow him. The temptation of Immortal GU was huge. Even if they could not trust him, there would always be GU Immortals who would take the risk. Once Fang Yuan showed his sincerity, the whole of the 5 regions GU Immortal world would gradually fall into his hands. Even the Celestial Court will not be spared. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable smiled bitterly. Chapter 2249. Western Desert. The calm desert suddenly exploded. Dust flew everywhere, and a huge beast the size of a mountain fiercely drilled out from the ground. This fierce beast had the body of a python, a crocodile head, and 6 eagle claws. Dragon Crocodile. An immemorial dragon crocodile. The dragon crocodile roared, its voice shaking the surroundings, but there was a trace of fear in its roar. The dragon crocodile had the innate ability to climb the clouds. After coming out of the desert, it immediately flew up. But along the way, the dragon crocodile's body froze. It opened its mouth and shot out flames that soared to the sky. The dragon crocodile cried out as it fell to the ground, creating a huge wave of sand. It struggled for a while before gradually becoming still, motionless. After a while, 3 GU Immortals came out of its crocodile mouth. 2 males and 1 female, they were all GU Immortals. They came from Western Desert's 3 superforces, Shikang, Zhuqiu Yangming, and Tuoba Fengyang. Shikang cultivated Earth Path, while the other 2 cultivated Fire Path. Many Western Desert GU Immortals cultivated Fire Path. The final dragon crocodile is dead. According to our 3 clans agreement, this dragon crocodile belongs to Sister Yang Ming. The only female immortal, Zhuqiu Yangming, nodded and opened her immortal aperture's entrance, taking this immemorial dragon crocodile inside. She activated her divine sense and looked around the immortal aperture, revealing a smile. This immemorial dragon crocodile corpse is not bad, it has many Dao marks left. It is all thanks to Brother Fengyang's method of eliminating the enemy. Not at all. Tuoba Fengyang smiled, If not for Brother Shekang's method, we would not have taken the risk of entering the dragon crocodile's stomach. Thus, the greatest contribution in this battle belongs to Brother Shekang. Not at all, not at all. Shekang smiled, expressing humility. Dragon crocodiles originally lived in immemorial black heaven. But recently, immemorial black heaven and white heaven had fused together. The originally balanced ecology was completely disrupted. A dragon crocodile group lost in battle and escaped from immemorial black heaven. They escaped along the way, passing by Zhuoqiu, Tuoba, and Shi clan's territories. These three clans discussed and each sent out a rank 7 GU immortal expert to deal with this dragon crocodile group that was already heavily injured. Shekang, Zhuoqiu Yangming, and Tuoba Fengyang worked together and spent 3 days and 3 nights to completely annihilate this group of dragon crocodiles. However, just as the three of them were about to bid each other farewell, they suddenly received orders from their clans almost simultaneously. Oh! WN clan wants to gather all the great clans to suppress Fang clan together. Hehe, so it turns out that the WN clan is the first to become restless. From the looks of it, the three of us are the closest to the WAN clan's territory. That's why we all received this order. The three immortals discussed for a while and decided to travel together. Although this place isn't far from the WN clan, we still need to rest for a while. Indeed. At the very least, we need to heal the injuries on our bodies. There is also the dragon crocodile corpse in my immortal aperture. I need to deal with it. Shekang pondered for a moment and smiled. Gentlemen, we will pass by the myriad or desert on our way to the WAN clan. That resource point is guarded by my tribe's GU immortal Shizhong. We can go there to rest. Of course, the conditions in the wilderness could not be compared to resource points. Almost every resource point had an immortal formation and was relatively safe. Zhuoqiu Yangming and Tuoba Fengyang glanced at each other before nodding at Shekang. The latter said, "Then we will have to trouble you." Shekang laughed heartily. Please. Myriad or desert was flat and boundless. There were cracks everywhere on the rocky ground, not even a blade of grass grew. But there was a completely different world under the desert. A large number of ore veins were gathered here. Over 100,000 rockmen lived here as miners, excavating all kinds of ores for the WN clan GU immortals. But these rockmen were mortals. They were at most GU masters with limited abilities and could only excavate mortal ores. Thus, Shi clan would send GU immortals to guard this place while Shi clan's GU immortals excavated the immortal ores here. This was a tough job. Normally, GU immortals who were sent here were the kind that were ostracized. Shizhong was a typical case. Shizhong's father betrayed Shi clan and caused the clan to suffer severe losses, not only in resources, but also in GU immortals' deaths. To gain trust, Shizhong changed his name to Shizhong to express his loyalty to the clan, but it was to no avail. At this moment, Shizhong's divine sense was roaming around in jewel yellow skies. In jewel yellow skies, what attracted the GU immortals' attention the most was that large piece of primordial domain. This is the legendary secluded domain of heaven and earth. During the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Giant Sun Immortal traded it to heaven-refining demon Venerable Fang Yuan. If only I could get one, how great would that be? Shizhong was very envious. The reason why he knew about the origin of this primordial domain was naturally because of Fang Yuan's publicity. His motive was obvious. He wanted the world to know, Giant Sun Immortal is doing business with me, what are you afraid of? Of course, the current Giant Sun Immortal was also declared a demon venerable by the Celestial Court because he created and cultivated Blood Path. And above the primordial domain, there was a will. This will condensed into a human figure, white-robed, black hair, handsome appearance. It was Fang Yuan's will. Heaven-refining demon venerable. If I ask him to refine the GU, will I be able to get wealth GU? No, that is too risky. Wealth GU is my hope of rising up. How can I give this GU recipe to Fang Yuan? If he succeeds in refining the GU but does not give it to me, that would be too foolish. I cannot do anything to a venerable. This thought only flashed past Shizhong's mind for a moment. Shizhong had obtained a remnant immortal GU recipe of Wealth GU by chance. Wealth GU was a legendary immortal GU. If Shizhong could refine it, he would become extremely wealthy, he would quickly accumulate an enormous amount of cultivation resources and be free from the constraints of his clan. In order to refine wealth Gu, Shizhong did not hesitate to secretly use people to refine it. If this demonic act was discovered, he would be in huge trouble. Even though he took such a huge risk and tried over 100 times to refine the Gu, he still failed every time. There was still a long way to go before he succeeded. Shizhong knew about Fang Yuan's declaration, but he did not dare to take the risk. Wealth Gu was his only hope. A Gu immortal is approaching. Right at this time, the immortal formation suddenly issued a warning. Shizhong's expression changed. He immediately cut off the divine sense in jewel yellow skies and controlled the immortal formation. Shikang led the other two immortals in the sky. They stopped at the periphery of the immortal formation's detection. They did not go in. After Shizhong contacted them, he verified their identities and learned of Shikang's intentions. I am very happy that brother Shikang is here. Please come in. Shizhong showed great enthusiasm. The three immortals entered the immortal formation and rested for a while. Shizhong held a banquet and invited the three immortals. He purposely gave the main seat to Shikang out of humility. Shikang declined a few times before sitting on the main seat. This scene was seen by the other two immortals. They thought of the rumors and knew what was going on. Compared to Shizhong, Shikang was a popular person in Shi clan. Not long ago, he had defeated everyone and obtained Sand Lump Blessed Land. After killing the dragon crocodiles, Shikang did not need to hand them over to the clan. Many of the dragon crocodiles were directly sold into jewel yellow skies. Zhuqiu Yangming and Tuoba Fengyang were envious of such treatment. This time, WN clan is leading the charge to gather all of Western Desert's clans to attack Fang clan. I wonder what you two think. After 3 rounds of wine, Shikang asked. Zhuqiu Yangming said, WN clan and Fang clan have deep enmity. It is not surprising that WN clan is leading the charge. Their reason is also very reasonable and impeccable. But I feel that WAN clan's gathering will not have a good future. That's right, I have the same opinion. Tuoba Fengyang slowly put down his wine cup. Firstly, the 5 regional walls are gone. Western Desert has several large clans at the border. It will be hard for them to make any big moves. Secondly, Fang clan is not weak. Their first supreme elder has rank 8 cultivation level, and Fang clan is most proficient in immortal Gu houses. Thirdly, Fang clan has good relations with many clans. Fang clan was the one who started the Fate War. This caused Fang clan's reputation to soar. Fourthly, and most importantly, Fang clan made a transaction with Fang Yuan. This is the reason for us to take action. It is also the reason we are wary of them. Who knows what the relationship between Fang clan and Fang Yuan is? Shikang nodded repeatedly, sighing. Brother Tuoba's analysis is clear and logical. It is very convincing. Shizhong was silent, deep in thought. Tuoba Fengyang's analysis was actually very simple. Shikang knew it himself, but he had to ask. Because Shikang represented Shi clan to communicate with Zhuqiu Yangming and Tuoba Fengyang, he wanted to know the intentions of their clans. Now that he knew that Tuoba and Zhuqiu clan had the same intentions as Shi clan, Shikang felt much more relaxed. Come, let's drink. Shikang raised his wine cup with a smile. After eating and drinking to their heart's content, the 3 immortals thanked Shizhong and immediately left for the WAN family. Shizhong put away his cup, feeling unhappy. Shikang's treatment was completely different from Shizhong's. Previously, when Shikang was in closed cultivation, Shi clan provided him with sufficient resources. After Shikang obtained Sand Heap Blessed Land, the clan immediately rewarded him. He did not need to hand over any dragon crocodiles. The profits were truly plentiful. But there was no risk in going to WN clan. The result was almost set. He would definitely receive WAN clan's hospitality. Although it was a mission, it was actually a benefit. Sigh, my hope is still wealth Gu. When can I refine this Gu? Heaven refining demon Venerable. No, I will not use others, the risk is too high. Even though Shizhong made up his mind, his confidence in refining Gu had already been eroded after hundreds of failures. His intuition was telling him that the chances of him refining wealth Gu were very slim if he tried to do it alone. Thus, unknowingly, he communicated with jewel yellow skies and probed with his divine sense. Within jewel yellow skies, Fang Yuan's will suddenly opened his eyes and spoke with a loud voice. This is rank 7 movement immortal GU, take wind GU, it has already been refined by southern borders Wu Yong, it will be transacted now. What? Shizhong was shocked. At this moment, all the GU immortals who were paying attention to jewel yellow skies went into an uproar. Under everyone's gazes, Wu Yong's will got close to Fang Yuan's will. Fang Yuan's will through the rank 7 take wind GU to Wu Yong's will on the spot. Wu Yong's will nodded and did not say anything, immediately leaving jewel yellow skies with the immortal GU. Someone really made such a transaction with Fang Yuan, and it is southern borders Wu Yong. Shizhong was in a daze. Chapter 2250. Southern Border. Wu Yi Mountain. Wu Clan's headquarters, Blessed Land. Wu Clan's GU immortals gathered together. Wu Yong sat at the main seat. Most of the people present were GU immortals themselves, only a few could not attend, they were participating with their wills. These are the letters from Ba Clan, Tai Clan, Luo Clan, Hu Clan, and others. Take a look. Wu Yong waved his hand, more than 10 information path GU worms flew out. Wu Clan's GU immortals read them one after another, their expressions turning grim. The contents of these information path GU worms were all the same, there was nothing to write home about. They were just using the righteous path's tone to condemn and question Wu Yong. Why did he make a deal with a demon like Fang Yuan? A portion of them even threatened to leave the Southern Alliance. They felt that Wu Yong was not qualified to be the leader of the Southern Alliance. They wanted to replace the alliance leader and choose someone else. These guys, shameless words. I really can't stand this. Many of these super clans had colluded with Lu Weiyin in the past, right? Back then, Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin worked together to kill Spectral Soul. They escaped from the Celestial Court's pursuit. Now, these people still have the face to reprimand us. Changing the alliance leader? In Southern Borders GU Immortal World, who is more suitable than Lord Wu Yong? Wu Clan's GU immortals discussed with indignant tones. Wu Yong did not speak, he drank his tea calmly while listening to the immortals' conversation. The immortals' voices became louder, some were agitated, they even wanted to take revenge on those clans. Wu Yong put down his cup at this moment, he raised his hand. The immortals saw this and went silent. Many of the Wu Clan GU immortals who stood up uncontrollably because of their indignation quickly sat down. Wu Yong's eyes turned slightly as he looked around. The hall was already silent. This is my Wu Clan. Wu Yong was expressionless, but he was very satisfied internally. Ever since he took control of the Wu Clan, he had been leading the Wu Clan and turning the tide. He had experienced several battles and even pursued Fang Yuan. Most importantly, his exceptional political skills had won the loyalty of the entire Wu Clan. Among them were not only the original Wu Clan GU immortals, but also the external lone immortals, as well as the newly advanced rank 6 GU immortals. In the course of the discussion just now, none of these people voiced any objection or advice to Wu Yong's decision and method. From this, it could be seen how high the prestige Wu Yong currently had. 8th Supreme Elder, please explain the details to everyone, Wu Yong said faintly. Yes. As the 2nd Supreme Elder of Wu Clan, Wu Ba Chong immediately stood up and said to the GU immortals present, several days ago, Heaven Refining Demon Venerable, no, Great Love Immortal Venerable personally sent a message to 1st Supreme Elder. He forcefully requested 1st Supreme Elder to conduct the first public immortal GU transaction with him. Considering that Wu Clan cannot stop Fang Yuan, 1st Supreme Elder could only endure the humiliation and agree to Fang Yuan's request. Wu Clan's immortals looked at each other. Some had a change of expression, some clenched their fists, some gritted their teeth. They could feel the immense pressure from Fang Yuan's words. Fang Yuan did things without any qualms. In this situation, it was understandable that Wu Yong was forced to agree to this transaction. But at the next moment, Wu Yong laughed. Oh Ba Chong, no need to say that. We are all on the same side, I will say it directly. The immortals' expressions shook. Wu Yong's eyes shined with bright light. This is not the first time I transacted with Fang Yuan. I have already conducted several secret transactions with him. Fang Yuan's evidence is real. Saying this, Wu Yong purposely paused for a moment. Seeing that the hall was still silent, all the GU immortals were still looking at him with heated gazes, Wu Yong nodded in satisfaction, continuing, the reason is simple. Firstly, be it the previous Fang Yuan or the Venerable Fang Yuan, they are both existences that our Wu clan cannot afford to offend. Secondly, transacting with Fang Yuan is very beneficial to our Wu clan. Our Wu clan obtained several new immortal GU, all of them were refined by Fang Yuan. If our Wu clan were to do it ourselves, we might not succeed even after spending several times the amount of immortal materials. Wu clan's immortals were silent. Wu Yong's gaze swept past Wu Biechong, stopping at Wu Qiao. Wu Qiao shuddered, he quickly stood up and asked with a trembling voice, But, how should we deal with the condemnation of these superforces? Wu Yong smiled lightly, nodding at Wu Qiao, good question. Saying so, he waved his hand, all of the information path mortal GU flew into his palm. Wu Yong blew lightly, a light breeze blew, crushing all of the information path mortal GU into pieces. These so-called condemnations are useless. Wu Yong smiled coldly, do you think they will dare to attack our clan? The immortals were stunned. Wu Yong leaned back on his chair, he looked around with a condescending gaze, do you still not understand? Everyone. Times have changed. The Fate War, the pursuit of Fang Yuan, the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, the Celestial Court's foundation has been completely depleted. Even though Star Constellation Immortal Venerable revived, she has no choice but to declare the demonic path identity of the other two Venerables. And be it Giant Sun or Fang Yuan, they both claim to be immortal Venerables, not demon Venerables. What is an immortal? What is a demonic path? What is the righteous path? What is a demonic path? The immortals' hearts shook. Wu Yong laughed heartily. With the confrontation of three Venerables, the 5 regions and 2 heavens have entered an unprecedented era. If we still use our previous views and get entangled in the division of righteous and demonic, we will only be drowned by the terrifying tides of this era. Didn't you see how Fang Yuan effortlessly subdued the righteous Qi alliance? And our Southern Alliance, in front of the Venerable One, can't even be considered a mob. It was impossible to lead a flock of sheep to defeat a ferocious tiger. Furthermore, we are not even a group of sheep in front of a Venerable. Venerables can only fight against Venerables. Meanwhile, we pitiful worms need to survive in the cracks of the Venerables. We can only work hard to absorb nutrients and strengthen ourselves. If we receive the pity of fate, we will have a chance of survival. Let go of the so-called righteous path's dignity and the shackles of cheap morality. Let go of the sense of superiority and security of being a GU immortal. These are all fake. Just like the information path mortal GU I destroyed earlier, as long as a Venerable exhales, we GU immortals will immediately fall into a state of eternal damnation. Finally, Wu Yong raised his voice and said with a solemn expression, let's do our best, race against time, in this terrifying great era, we need to survive first. Yes, we will heed First Supreme Elder's word. Wu Biechong, Wu Qiao, and the other Wu clan GU immortals stood up and answered solemnly. Western Desert. WAN clan headquarters. A banquet had just ended, only a few WN clan GU immortals were left in the messy hall. Rank 6 GU immortal WN Zui Qing smashed the wine cup in his hand on the ground in anger. These despicable hypocritical clans, they are simply a disgrace to Western Desert. Do they still have any sense of righteous path's glory and self-awareness? WN Zui Qing shouted in anger, his face was red. Zui Qing. WAN Xiao frowned slightly. Isn't that so? WN Zui Qing was still furious. These days, we have been having small banquets every 3 days and big banquets every 5 days, but what about these clans GU immortals? All of them are giving vague answers and making excuses. Zui Qing. WAN Xiao shouted. Forget it, forget it. At this time, WN clan's first Supreme Elder left his seat. He had a bleak expression and his back seemed to be slightly hunched. The remaining WAN clan GU immortals fell into silence. Outside WN clan's blessed land, Tang Fangming and Tang Miao were floating in the sky, looking at the stars in the night sky with relaxed moods. Coming out to relax once in a while is indeed the right thing to do, big brother. Big brother. Tang Miao smiled. Tang Fangming nodded, showing an expression of agreement. He was the rank 7 GU immortal expert that Tang clan held the most in high regard, but different from Shikang. The reason why Tang Fangming received the full support and attention of Tang clan was because he had extraordinary talent in the exploration of Dream Path. This trip to Fang clan was also because Tang Fangming loved his sister Tang Miao. He wanted to satisfy her desire to go out and play. Big brother, WN clan's hospitality is really good. They are also very determined to take down Fang clan. These days, we have been discussing with the other clans and WAN clan has made many concessions. How long do you think the Alliance army will take? Tang Miao asked. Tang Fangming sneered. The Alliance army to take down Fang clan will never succeed. Why? Let me give you an example. Tang Fangming sighed. Right now, the 5 regions and 2 heavens are like a forest with 3 terrifying fierce beasts inside. Tang Miao's eyes brightened. Big brother, you are talking about the 3 venerables? Tang Fangming nodded. And besides these 3 fierce beasts, there are many birds, rabbits, and fish. Now, a little bird with the surname WN wants to deal with a little rabbit with the surname Fang. The little bird can't deal with it by itself, so it gathered some other little birds and rabbits and kept offering high prices, wanting to bully him with numbers. However, that little rabbit surnamed Fang is currently leaning against a ferocious beast. Nobody knows if the fierce beast will get angry if they touch this little rabbit. Once the fierce beast gets angry, no matter how many small animals WN clan's little bird gathers, they will only become food for the fierce beast. Tang Miao was slightly shocked. Big brother, you are saying that these righteous path superforces cannot form an alliance army just because of this? Tang Fangming nodded again with a solemn expression. No matter how joyous the banquet is, no matter how intense the negotiations between WN clan and the other clans are, these are all superficial. In truth, it is just the appearance of small animals trembling in fear. If 3 fierce beasts suddenly appear in the forest, us small animals cannot resist them. Tang Miao breathed in deeply. Fortunately, our Tang clan has already contacted Lord Fang Yuan and had private transactions with him. In my opinion, Southern Border's alliance leader, Wu Yong, has already made public transactions with Fang Yuan. Why can't our Tang clan? Absolutely not. Tang Fangming said, Lord Fang Yuan's every action has deep meaning. Earlier, he exposed the evidence and said that he had transactions with many forces and GU immortals, but he did not mention our Tang clan. This is his love for our Tang clan. Our Tang clan cannot compare to Southern Border's Wu clan or Fang clan. We are the weakest superclan in Western Desert. We are also at the center of the region and can easily be attacked. At this time, we cannot be in the limelight. We only need to secretly transact with Lord Fang Yuan. We cannot let down Lord Fang Yuan's painstaking efforts. Of course, we can sell the inside information of WAN clans gathering to Fang clan as a favor. Fang clan has frequent transactions with Lord Fang Yuan. From this perspective, they are our Tang clan's natural ally. Tang Fangming spoke with fervor and composure. He was very insightful about the current situation. Tang Miao's eyes shined as she realized something. Right at this time, Tang Fangming's expression changed slightly. Big brother, what is it? In jewel yellow skies, GU immortals have publicly transacted with Fang Yuan again. This time, it is 3 people. Among them, 2 are from Northern Plains and Central Continent. Tang Fangming quickly answered, excitement flashing in his eyes. Chapter 2251. A lump of fire was quietly burning in Fang Yuan's hand. The fire was only the size of a baby's fist, its color was constantly changing. If a refinement path expert saw this, they would definitely shout in shock. Because the changing color of the fire was only the appearance, its nature was also completely different. For example, when it was red, it was fire refinement. When it was dark white, it was light refinement. When it was ice blue, it was ice refinement. Fang Yuan lightly clenched his fist, the fire instantly disappeared. Fang Yuan was silent, he fell into deep thought. After a long while, he blinked his eyes and collected his thoughts. Recently, he had been refining immortal GU personally. He had not used 4-element square regret blood refinement pool. He had refined more than 10 immortal GU, their ranks were limited to rank 6 and 7, it was not a big achievement for Fang Yuan. But during this process, Fang Yuan had a considerable harvest. His current refinement path attainment level was already at Supreme Grandmaster. No matter what GU refinement method, he could easily see through all of its profundities. All GU recipes had no secrets to Fang Yuan. Right now, Fang Yuan could modify GU recipes in one go most of the time. Even if many profound immortal GU recipes needed some time to be modified, this was only the time needed to deduce and choose the appropriate immortal materials. Fang Yuan's refinement path intuition was already so strong that he could determine the direction of modification of an immortal GU recipe with just one glance. Fang Yuan had tried several times, and his practice proved that this intuition was absolutely correct. Modifying refinement path killer moves, GU refinement methods and so on was the same. Fang Yuan even had a flash of inspiration during one of the GU refinement processes. He thought of a new GU refinement method and succeeded in putting it into practice. And in terms of refining GU personally, Fang Yuan felt a sense of control. This sense of control greatly increased the success rate of refining immortal GU. Many times, after refining immortal GU, at some point, Fang Yuan would be sure that the GU refinement would succeed. Even if the immortal GU refinement failed, Fang Yuan would feel a sense of control. He could predict that the GU refinement would fail in the end. Even a refinement path Venerable would fail when refining immortal GU. On one hand, it was the refining method. If it was a human error, it would definitely fail. On the other hand, there were restrictions from the other sects. For example, to refine fire path immortal GU, large amounts of fire path immortal materials were needed. As for fire path immortal materials, Fang Yuan's sense of control would be much weaker. Fang Yuan's fire path attainment level was far from his refinement path attainment level. But the success rate of refining refinement path immortal GU is almost 100%. Of course, I have not tried rank 9 refinement path immortal GU. Fang Yuan had already confirmed this point. Refinement path immortal GU used large amounts of refinement path immortal materials, and Fang Yuan had complete control over these refinement path immortal material. On this point, old eccentric Tian Nan, old immortal Kong Ju, and long-hair ancestor could not compare to Fang Yuan. Because Fang Yuan was a refinement path Venerable, he could refine the natural refinement path Dao marks in the outside world. Refinement path Dao marks in refinement path immortal materials naturally belonged to this category. Thus, Fang Yuan knew these immortal materials like the back of his hand, he had perfect control over them. Thus, as long as there were no mistakes in refinement path techniques, and there were not many immortal materials of other paths involved in the refinement, Fang Yuan's refinement success rate was infinitely close to 100%. But in terms of GU refinement success rate, Fang Yuan had already completely surpassed 4-element square regret blood refinement pool. This was still under the situation where he had not practiced many refinement path methods and killer moves. Even though Fang Yuan had become a refinement path Venerable, there was still a lot of room for improvement in refinement path. Other than gaining practical experience, when my attainment levels in other paths rise in the future, it will rapidly increase my success rate in refining immortal GU of the corresponding path. It is a pity that I cannot take out the primordial domain at the moment. Fang Yuan did not have a method to retrieve the primordial domain, so the primordial domain that he obtained from Giant Sun Immortal was still stored in Jewel Yellow Skies, and he was still paying for it. Thinking of Jewel Yellow Skies, Fang Yuan thought of the 3 GU immortals who had transacted with him earlier. These 3 immortals came from Southern Border, Central Continent, and Northern Plains. They had all publicly transacted with their real names, thus the GU immortals of the 5 regions knew about them. Among them, the Southern Border GU immortals were from Qiao Clan. Qiao Clan was a vassal of Wu Clan. Qiao Clan's GU immortals publicly transacted with Fang Yuan, It was likely that they had received Wu Yong's instructions to help Wu clan share the political pressure. The other two were Northern Plains lone immortals and Central Continent's demonic immortals. In fact, ever since Wu Yong's transaction, many GU immortals had secretly contacted Fang Yuan to refine immortal GU. But Fang Yuan had forced them to disclose their identities to transact. This made many GU immortals flinch. Only a few GU immortals, because of their temperament or external pressure, reluctantly accepted the conditions of the public transaction. After Fang Yuan filtered them, he chose these two. These two did not have high cultivation level, only rank 6, they were at the bottom of the GU immortal world of the 5 regions. Maybe it was because of their low status that these two were more inclined to take risks, they wanted to seize the chance to turn things around. It was like how poor people often disregarded their lives, while rich people cherished their lives and were cautious. Of course, these two were no longer in Northern Plains or Central Continent. Nobody knew how Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven would react after they publicly transacted Immortal GU with Fang Yuan. These two GU immortals were not fools, they had already escaped to other regions. If this was in the past, there would definitely be many disadvantages. But now that the regional walls were gone and the 5 regions were united, the chi tides dissipated, the 5 regions heaven and earth chi were the same, there was no difference. Thus, no matter which region the GU immortals went to, they would not be restricted by heaven and earth chi. Now, there is a crucial point. Fang Yuan did not know what Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's reactions would be, he was looking forward to it and also vigilant. According to his deductions, the 2 Venerables would have 4 possible reactions. First, they would send their subordinates to kill these 2 rank 6 GU immortals. This was easy, Fang Yuan had purposely chosen the weaker GU immortals and transacted with them. If these 2 were chased by Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven and lost their lives, Fang Yuan would be very happy. Second, the 2 Venerables would join forces to attack Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan would be very vigilant against such a situation, but he would also be happy to see it. Third, the 2 Venerables would attack Jewel Yellow Skies. In this situation, Fang Yuan's Great Love GU refinement plan would lose its foundation. But the possibility was very small, because ever since Jewel Yellow Skies appeared, it had existed until now. During this period, Celestial Court, Longevity Heaven, Shadow Sect, and countless other heroes had the idea of attacking Jewel Yellow Skies, but they all failed. Fang Yuan did not know the exact location of Jewel Yellow Skies even now. This was an extremely mysterious mystery. The 4th situation was also the most likely choice for the 2 Venerables. That was to ignore his GU refinement business, they could not stop it anyway. The 2 Venerables would try to manage their own cultivation level, forces, and so on. They would gain an advantage in other aspects to restrict Fang Yuan's Great Love GU refinement plan. In fact, ever since I left Crazed Demon Cave, the competition between me, Giant Sun Immortal, and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable has already begun. Whoever manages it better will have the upper hand in the upcoming battles. Advantage might not necessarily turn into victory, but after the accumulation of advantages, the result will be hard to say. Fang Yuan had a clear understanding of his position among the 3 Venerables. Looking back at the entire Crazed Demon Cave battle, it was clear that the biggest reason why Fang Yuan could win was because he had the correct strategy. Fang Yuan only had pseudo-venerable battle strength, and because he had been used as a pawn by the Venerables, the 2 Venerables looked down on him from the bottom of their hearts. Be it Star Constellation Immortal Venerable or Giant Sun Immortal, they viewed each other as their greatest enemies. This gave Fang Yuan room to display his abilities. But the Venerables were not so easily deceived. Thus, Fang Yuan purposely exposed his ambition in refinement path, to let the 2 Venerables know that Fang Yuan wanted to become venerable through refinement path. Next, when his refinement path attainment level was almost fully accumulated, Fang Yuan purposely gave up on the contest for Primordial Domain in front of the 2 Venerables. The refinement path portion of Primordial Domain was destroyed. After the 2 Venerables knew that Fang Yuan could not become venerable quickly, they were relieved. On this basis, Fang Yuan showed weakness step by step. For example, Jean Boudou gave star constellation Immortal Venerable a huge headache in several battles. He was in the limelight. Alright, Fang Yuan purposely let Jean Boudou die at the hands of Giant Sun Immortal. For example, Reverse Flow Protection Seal and Peaceful Soil Heavy Mountain Fortress were used by the Venerables. Alright, Fang Yuan used these two methods to dispel the vigilance of the Venerables. In fact, he even purposely sacrificed the Qi-Si clone, Fang Yuan. Even after doing this, the two Venerables were still worried about Fang Yuan. At some point, the two Venerables cooperated and wanted to eliminate Fang Yuan first. That was the most dangerous moment for Fang Yuan. He was trapped both internally and externally, his life was hanging by a thread many times. After all, Spring-Autumn Cicada could not be used. Thankfully, Fang Yuan managed to endure it in the end. He finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. The two Venerables expended a lot of energy on each other. Limitless Demon Venerable's appearance and Paradise Earth's Venerable ascension caused the two Venerables' remaining vigilance to dissipate. Eventually, Fang Yuan seized the opportunity and killed Paradise Earth, forcing the two Venerables to retreat, becoming the greatest victor of the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. Other than using the correct battle tactics, the other main reason for victory was that Fang Yuan made all sorts of preparations before the battle. Fang Yuan obtained Ability GU, Fortitude GU, and others. They played a huge role in Crazed Demon Cave. Fang Yuan raised the cultivation level of his subordinates, allowing White Rabbit and Miao Yin to fight against Duke Mai and Duke Tong. Fang Yuan deduced and modified many killer moves, like Dang Hun Luo Po Seal, Road of Life, hundreds of totem killer moves, Heaven Envy's heroic geniuses, large numbers of compound killer moves, and so on. Fang Yuan even created the Earth Vein and Food Path defensive methods. He prepared Dream Path killer moves and so on. Most of them were used in Crazed Demon Cave. Without these ample preparations, even if Fang Yuan's strategy was correct, he would not be able to last until the final moment. I became a Refinement Path Venerable. I am the victor of the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable attach great importance to me. Only by using all my strength and working hard can I gain an advantage in the future contest of three Venerables. The results of his efforts now would be the key to victory in the contest of three Venerables in the future. Chapter 2252. Northern Plains. Longevity Heaven. Giant Sun Immortal held an Information Path Mortal GU in his hand. He had a calm expression but was sighing inwardly. To think that as a Venerable, I would actually pay attention to a mere rank 6 Northern Plains lone cultivator, and I can't do anything to him for now. According to Giant Sun Immortal's temper and nature, this GU Immortal who transacted with Fang Yuan publicly was simply provoking him. If it were in the past, this GU Immortal would be dead already. The dignity of a Venerable was not to be offended. But now, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable summoned one of the 8 extremities. Go, send the order to all the Super Huang Jin tribes, contact them and recruit this person. Whoever succeeds will receive a special reward from me. Yes. This 8 extremities immediately accepted the order and left respectfully. At this time, Giant Sun Immortal could not make any statements. It would be disadvantageous to him and Longevity Heaven. But he could let the Super Huang Jin tribes do it. This was the shrewd and ruthless righteous path political method. Giant Sun Immortal knew, Fang Yuan's Great Love GU refinement plan could not be stopped. This was a blatant scheme. The hearts of those who desired Immortal GU could not be shaken. Once Giant Sun Immortal stopped it or ordered for this Northern Plains lone cultivator to be killed, Longevity Heaven would lose a lot of people's support. They might be able to suppress the situation for a short period of time, but the more they suppressed it, the deeper this dissatisfaction would accumulate, and when it erupts, it would bring even more trouble to Longevity Heaven. In the end, this would be the result. Northern Plains lone immortals and demonic cultivators would mostly transact with Fang Yuan publicly. After the transaction, these GU immortals would immediately leave Northern Plains and go to the other 4 regions. Of course, they would most likely go to Eastern Sea, which was under Fang Yuan's control. This was equivalent to Fang Yuan using Immortal GU to lure the lone immortals and demonic cultivators of Northern Plains to Eastern Sea. expanding the scale of his heaven and earth great love alliance. Of course, the giant sun immortal wouldn't fall for it so easily. Fang Yuan is really arrogant. He doesn't have enough immortal essence, but he still took the initiative to provoke me. Humph, I must return the favor. If the battle in the crazed demon cave gave Giant Sun Immortal a taste of Fang Yuan's combat power, then now Giant Sun Immortal felt Fang Yuan's ruthless and sharp political skills. Giant Sun Immortal thought about it before taking out an information path Immortal GU from his immortal aperture. The information path Immortal GU rapidly flew towards Central Continent. Zhongzhou State, Celestial Court. Star constellation Immortal Venerable was also dealing with Fang Yuan's methods. She summoned He Fengyang, gave him a few words of encouragement, and gave him the task in person. He Fengyang was still in a daze when he left the Celestial Court. The task that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable gave him was to publicly transact with Fang Yuan to refine new Immortal GU. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's response was even more direct than Giant Sun Immortal's. Since Fang Yuan declared that he would love the world and refine GU regardless of friend or foe, the Celestial Court went with the flow. In any case, the Celestial Court couldn't stop this scheme. It was a wise choice to profit from it. Of course, the Celestial Court and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable would not publicly transact with Fang Yuan. They still needed face. After all, they had declared Fang Yuan to be a demon venerable earlier. He Fengyang and Fang Yuan's transaction, regardless of whether it succeeded or failed, the Celestial Court would ignore it. It would create an ambiguous political stance that it didn't care about the actions of the 10 great ancient sects. This way, the 10 great ancient sects would participate and obtain many immortal GU. It would be very helpful to Central Continent stamina. If Fang Yuan refused or asked for an unreasonable price, it would be inconsistent with his previous declaration. It would greatly damage Fang Yuan's reputation. Weakening Fang Yuan's appeal was a victory for the Celestial Court. Greetings to Immortal Venerable. Qin Ding Ling appeared with 2 information path Immortal GU. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable looked at them and pondered. The first one came from Southern Borders Wu Clan. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable looked at it and realized that Wu Clan's first Supreme Elder, the current leader of the Southern Alliance, Wu Yong, wanted to publicly transact with the Celestial Court. Wu Yong seemed to have forgotten that he had once led the Southern Alliance to fight against the Celestial Court during the Fate War. A hint of admiration flashed past Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's eyes. This Wu Yong is truly an outstanding person. Earlier, he publicly transacted with Fang Yuan, but now, he wants to transact with my Celestial Court. His ambition is huge. But this is good. Agreeing to your request is also beneficial to the Celestial Court. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable immediately decided to transact with Wu Yong. On one hand, it was to express her attitude. She and the Celestial Court were very tolerant towards all GU immortals who transacted with Fang Yuan. On the other hand, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was also trying to rope in Wu Yong. Wu Yong and Fang Yuan were very close. If she rejected, Wu Clan might be easily roped in by Fang Yuan. This was not something Star Constellation Immortal Venerable wanted to see. As for the second information path Immortal GU, it came from Giant Sun Immortal. The content of the letter was simple. Giant Sun Immortal wanted to ally with Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to deal with Fang Yuan. Of course, they would not ally for no reason. After all, in the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable were already working together to deal with the venerable Fang Yuan. The battle in Crazed Demon Cave had just ended. The Venerable's strength had not risen much. If the 2 Venerables worked together to deal with Fang Yuan, they would only be asking for trouble and humiliation. Giant Sun Immortal's intention was, he had been using luck path methods to monitor Eastern Sea and investigate heaven-refining Demon Venerable. Once Fang Yuan tried to refine a rank 9 Immortal GU, there would be a huge change in luck. By then, it would be the best time to deal with him. Currently, Fang Yuan was very strong. Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable would be repelled even if they worked together, but they did not have much of an advantage. The 2 Venerables could easily defend themselves. However, if Fang Yuan tried to refine a rank 9 immortal GU, his immortal essence would be greatly damaged. Especially at the crucial moment of the GU refinement, if the two venerables grasped the opportunity, that would be Fang Yuan's greatest weakness, and also his weakest moment. If Fang Yuan failed in the GU refinement, he would suffer a terrifying backlash. After all, this was the refinement of a rank 9 immortal GU, it was no small matter. Towards Giant Sun Immortal's suggestion, star constellation Immortal Venerable did not hesitate, she agreed. In fact, she had an entire set of investigative methods to monitor Eastern Sea, to guard against Fang Yuan's attempt to refine a rank 9 immortal GU. Star constellation Immortal Venerable placed great importance on Fang Yuan's refinement path attainment. The contest of three venerables was a fight for every inch of land. If any side gained a rank 9 immortal GU, their strength would rise sharply. This was not a loss of land, it was a change of ownership. In fact, even if Giant Sun Immortal did not send a letter, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable would contact him. If Fang Yuan truly displayed his refinement path specialty and refined a rank 9 immortal GU, Fang Yuan would gain a huge advantage. This was something the two venerables did not want to see. This secret blockade against Fang Yuan's refinement of a rank 9 immortal GU was easily formed under the tacit understanding of the two venerables. If Fang Yuan rashly refines a rank 9 immortal GU, that will be the time to attack. But if I cooperate with Giant Sun Immortal, I need to pay attention to my immortal essence expenditure. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable understood that Giant Sun Immortal's immortal essence reserves were higher than hers. If they worked together to deal with Fang Yuan and expended too much immortal essence, even if they had the same amount as Giant Sun Immortal, it would be disadvantageous to Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. Giant Sun Immortal had an absolute advantage in terms of immortal essence reserves. If such a thing happened, Giant Sun Immortal's immortal essence advantage would be even greater. This was definitely a secret scheme of Giant Sun Immortal. Eastern Sea. Oh! Fang Yuan's expression changed slightly. Right now, he was refining Immortal GU while communicating with Jewel Yellow Skies. He was also thinking about the arrangements of his immortal aperture. He was very calm. At this moment, his will inside Jewel Yellow Skies received He Fengyang's transaction request. He Fengyang actually took the initiative to openly transact with me. It seems that this is Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's intention. Fang Yuan immediately realized the truth behind this. Without Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's permission, how could He Fengyang dare to do this? As expected of Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, Fang Yuan praised in his mind. This was a very mature and rational response. In the competition between forces and experts, it was never a simple matter of friend or foe. It was based on the specific situation and could be flexible. Sometimes they were enemies, sometimes they were allies, and sometimes they were enemies while cooperating. However, this reaction was within Fang Yuan's expectations. Towards He Fengyang's transaction request, Fang Yuan's will agreed on the spot. If he rejected it, it would weaken his influence. Furthermore, why would he reject it? This was beneficial to Celestial Court and Central Continent. It was even more beneficial to Fang Yuan. After all, he was the one making the offer, he was the seller. Of course, Celestial Court and Central Continent would also benefit from it. Both sides would take what they needed. This was a mutually beneficial transaction. The most disadvantageous one was Longevity Heaven. Because Fang Yuan and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's aspects had improved, Longevity Heaven would fall behind. And if Longevity Heaven saw this, it would not want to fall behind. Even if it was unwilling, it would have to transact with Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan naturally would not reject it. By then, he would gain the most out of the three parties. Since you want the rank 7 Immortal GU, give me 9 Central Stone Forest. Fang Yuan gave He Fengyang a price. 9 Central Stone Forest was an Earth Path resource point. It could be used as an Earth Vein node. Its value could not be compared to a rank 7 Immortal GU. In the short term, a rank 7 Immortal GU was naturally more valuable. But in the long term, 9 Central Stone Forest, which produced Earth Path cultivation resources, was more valuable than a rank 7 immortal GU. This price was very high, it far surpassed Fang Yuan's previous GU refinement price. He Fengyang could not make the decision, but he had Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's orders. All in all, this price was above the bottom line. He Fengyang agreed to it. In the future, when Celestial Court and Longevity Heaven transact with me, I will ask for Earth Path resource points so that I can repair the Earth vein in the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. The Sovereign Immortal Aperture was undergoing construction again. But currently, they were mainly building water veins. Since the Righteous Qi Alliance had taken the initiative to side with Fang Yuan, they had to show their sincerity. Fang Yuan had already ordered for the clans to contribute a batch of water path resource points. I already have dozens of yellow apricot immortal essence beads. I cannot rashly refine rank 9 immortal GU, moreover, I do not have enough immortal essence. I should refine a few heaven path rank 8 immortal GU first. Chapter 2253. Southern Border. A group of 5 GU masters was moving at full speed on the road. The leading GU master had rank 4 cultivation. He had an ordinary appearance but was very capable. It was Shang Clan's GU master Xiao Yang. Fire travel GU. He was using a fire path GU worm to travel. Every step he took was burning with a little fire. Along the way, he left behind a long trail of fire. Behind him were 4 GU masters with rank 2 cultivation. At this moment, they were gritting their teeth and following with all their might. Lord Xiao Yang, let's take a break, we don't have enough Primeval essence. While moving, a rank 2 GU master suggested. Millimeter. Xiao Yang's speed slowed down, but he was still moving. This was the wilderness. If a GU master did not have enough Primeval essence, the risk of survival would rise. Moreover, rank 2 GU masters did not have the qualifications to explore the wilderness, they lacked survival skills. But right now, Xiao Yang had an important mission. According to the information, if I delay any longer, the mountain village will catch fire. I need to get there quickly. Last time, I was misled by the enemy's information and insisted on going out to search for deviant fire GU materials, but I did not expect Lady Shang Xinci to be in danger. This time, I need to complete this mission with all my strength and make up for the points I lost earlier. Thinking of this, Xiao Yang made his decision. He immediately ordered, "You 4 rest here, I will go first. After you are done resting, immediately catch up." Yes. The 4 GU masters answered in unison. Xiao Yang's speed rose sharply, he quickly entered the forest. A few hours later, he reached his destination, a small village that was affiliated to Shang clan. "Lord, you are finally here. The village has prepared some wine." The village head was a rank 4 GU master. He was very polite to Xiao Yang. But Xiao Yang waved his hand. "The fire is more important, we need to deal with this danger first." The village head was overjoyed. "Lord is wise. Then come this way, to be honest, I have been very anxious these days." The village head led Xiao Yang to the back mountain. Xiao Yang saw a large area of dazzling white flames burning brightly at the back mountain. "That's right, it is light fire." Xiao Yang sized it up, his pupils shrinking. "This light fire is very large, it covers at least 200 steps, it is beyond my limits." Light fire was a type of deviant fire, it was a rank 5 GU material. According to what Xiao Yang knew, this GU material could be used to refine rank 5 light path or fire path GU worms. From a GU Immortal's perspective, the essence was clear. This light fire contained some light path and fire path Dao marks. I didn't expect that I would be able to obtain such a large amount of light flames after searching for so many mystical flames. Lady Shang Xinci specifically left this mission to me. She is too kind and forgiving. Sigh, this kindness. Xiao Yang sighed in his heart, gradually understanding Shang Xinci's intention. He slowly approached the fireball. The closer he got, the more agitated he became. He was inexplicably angry. This was not surprising. This was the effect of light fire. The closer one was to this GU material, the more furious they would be. Xiao Yang tried activating a fire path technique and quickly succeeded in collecting a cluster of light flame. It was the size of a wash basin. Xiao Yang quietly nodded. His previous assessment was correct. With such a large area of fire, he couldn't rely on himself, but he could still collect most of it. Soon after, 4 rank 2 GU masters would arrive. With their help, this mission could be completed. But he had to be fast. GU materials like light fire would spread and expand rapidly during the day. Thankfully, it was night time now, so the scale of the light fire was suppressed. This was also the reason why Xiao Yang hurried over and even abandoned his subordinates. Before they arrive, I will make arrangements in the surroundings as a precaution. Xiao Yang immediately set up an alert method around the light fire. One had to be wary of others. Moreover, Xiao Yang would have to use his full strength to collect this heavenly fire. Why are there mortals patrolling the surroundings? While patrolling, Xiao Yang found many mortals in the forest were kowtowing towards the heavenly fire. The village leader quickly chased these villagers away. He would not let these mortals disturb Xiao Yang and the rest for a period of time. Next, the village leader explained the reason. It turned out that the sky had been changing recently. There was no longer a clear distinction between day and night, it was a mixture of black and white. This situation made the GU masters and mortals of the 5 regions extremely fearful. On a certain night, there was a sudden rain of fire. Within a radius of 10,000 miles around the village, balls of heavenly fire fell to the ground. The villagers were shocked by this strange phenomenon and generally believed that God was angry and wanted to burn the sinful mortals to death. Therefore, there were always mortals who came here to kneel and pray. Fools. Xiao Yang snorted, but his expression also eased up. Because he could understand. When the sky changed, he was also extremely fearful. But after Shongxin Ci's revelation, he understood that although this matter was huge, it was not fatal. Even if there was, it was not something a GU master at Xiao Yang's level could worry about. At the same time, immemorial white heaven. No, more accurately speaking, it was in the black and white heaven of immemorial white heaven. Tens of thousands of li away, Fang Yuan looked at the huge sun. The sun seemed to be moving slowly but was actually moving quickly. Its path was very fixed, it had always been from east to west, before turning back and going from west to east, repeating this process. Every time the sun moved from the east to the west of immemorial white heaven, it would be exactly 12 hours. Black heaven and white heaven alternated, the 5 regions were shrouded in darkness. And in white heaven above black heaven, the sun would turn back and go from west to east, spending another 12 hours to return to its original starting point in the east. At this time, black heaven and white heaven alternated again. Thus, in the eyes and senses of mortals, the sun always appeared in the sky during white heaven, it would appear from the east at dawn, and the darkness would disappear. At dusk, it would disappear from the west, and the darkness would thicken. The sun was extremely huge. Among the 11 venerables, spectral soul demon Venerable was the largest. He was like a mountain, but he could not compare to the sun. The size of the sun, Fang Yuan estimated that it was about the same size as Giant Majestic Sea Area. Giant Majestic Sea Area was one of the largest sea areas in Eastern Sea. Originally, in immemorial white heaven, the sun's path was completely empty. But now that the black and white heavens merged, the environment changed and became chaotic. While Fang Yuan was observing, there was a large patch of black clouds blocking the sun. Every time the sun moved forward, a portion of the larger black clouds would disappear. Of course, the sun was not unharmed. From time to time, sparks would scatter on the surface of the sun. Most of these heavenly flames were absorbed by the black clouds, but a small portion flew away. A portion of the sparks that flew out landed in the 5 regions. From Fang Yuan's perspective, the battle between the black clouds and the sun was the collision of 2 lumps of Tao marks. The former was dark path and cloud path, while the latter was light path and fire path. The black clouds will definitely lose, but the sun will also suffer a lot of damage. With such an intense change, no wonder heaven form is in chaos, it is even showing signs of collapsing. Fang Yuan was originally refining heaven path immortal GU, but his journey suddenly changed, he went up from Eastern Sea to the 2 heavens because of heaven form. Heaven form was left behind by thieving heaven demon Venerable. It was half a thieving heaven true inheritance. Back then, thieving heaven demon Venerable found a natural heavenly spirit in immemorial white heaven by chance. This natural heavenly spirit could not be brought out of immemorial white heaven, nor could it be kept in his grotto heaven. It was filled with providence, and could be replenished at any time. Even thieving heaven demon Venerable could not use his will to refine it completely. Thus, thieving heaven demon Venerable thought hard and came up with a way to forcefully refine it into an immortal killer move. He named it heaven form. Refining heaven form required a long time. Generations of wills would cleanse it. One day, it would be refined by a GU immortal. At that time, it would be used by one person. Later, this heaven form killer move was obtained by Southern Border's heaven inspecting 5 Xiong's. They made a bet for 1,000 years, but it was obtained by Fang Yuan. Heaven form provided a lot of help to Fang Yuan, especially in the aspect of conquering the 2 heavens grotto heavens. It had displayed its might during the Fate War. Heaven form was like a one-legged white crane, its feathers were white as snow, and its beak was red. When it was activated, it would spread its wings and flutter in the air. When not activated, it would close its eyes and rest on one leg, its neck would turn around and its head would rest on its back. Heaven form had always been in immemorial white heaven. Fang Yuan could not bring it away. Its foundation was immemorial white heaven. Now that immemorial white heaven and immemorial black heaven had merged, heaven form's foundation was shaking. Fang Yuan had to lend a hand in time to help it stabilize its form. Otherwise, if it relied on itself, it would definitely disintegrate and be destroyed. Chapter 2254. Originally, I didn't want to go to the 4 drip, but when I woke up this morning, I realized that my throat was so swollen that I couldn't speak. It greatly affected my daily work and life. While I was on the 4 drip, I was thinking, should I not have written about Xiao Yang's character yesterday? I still have to go on the 4 drip tomorrow. I'll try my best to update tomorrow. Venomous GU Master has no updates today. Currently typing, please wait a moment. After the content is updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. Chapter 2255. Heaven form, which was in the form of a white crane, wailed in front of Fang Yuan. It was in great pain, its body was twisting and curling up at times. Fang Yuan's fingers bloomed like flowers as he activated a refinement path killer move. Wisps of fragrant green wind coiled around the white crane like chains, gently stabilizing its body. Heaven form's condition was deteriorating, but after Fang Yuan's method, it was greatly alleviated. But it was far from enough. The white crane was still wailing. "Don't worry, I am here, I will protect you." Fang Yuan consoled. This move was an information path GU immortal killer move. It had refinement path effects. Because it was special, it was recorded by the land spirit of Langya. After Fang Yuan's modification, it abandoned its original name and changed it to Love Consolation. It looked like information path but was actually refinement path. It returned to the origin and its power increased greatly. This move could allow the GU Immortal to have a mystical consolation effect on the incomplete Immortal GU during the GU refinement process. For example, when facing failure, Fang Yuan would continue to urge, "I know you can do it. Do your best. You can definitely do it. Believe in yourself." The incomplete Immortal GU that was about to collapse would stop worsening under these words of encouragement. It would even recover and have a higher chance of success. There were several limitations to this move. First, the effect was continuous. Every sentence had a small effect. Only by accumulating the effects of continuous consolation would it have an obvious effect. Thus, during the GU refinement process, the GU would suddenly deteriorate and this move could not be used in time, or after using this move, the accumulation of effects would not be able to keep up with the deterioration. It would not be able to save the GU refinement. Second, this move had a target, the incomplete Immortal GU. That was to say, one had to refine the Immortal GU to a certain extent before they could use this move. Without refining the incomplete Immortal GU, they would not even think of using this move. Many GU recipes were completed in one go. They would not produce an incomplete immortal GU in the middle or late stages, thus this move could not be used. But Fang Yuan could use it now. Because the situation was special. Heaven form was originally in perfect condition, but under the fusion of white heaven and black heaven, it started to break apart and get damaged. It was almost like an incomplete immortal GU. Of course, this was also because Fang Yuan was a refinement path venerable. He had the attainment level and methods to refine rank 8 heaven form as a GU worm. "It's okay. I'm here. Don't worry," Fang Yuan said gently. Tian Xiong's cries grew louder. Suddenly, the snow-white feathermen in the sky started to burn. At first, it was only the size of a spark, but it quickly expanded. In just a few breaths, it had grown to the size of an adult's palm. Fang Yuan immediately took action. He breathed in deeply and prepared a killer move. 2 lumps of qi came out of his nostrils, one white and one blue. The aura landed on the burning feather one after another, causing sparks to spread out. Then, it condensed into a layer of frost, preventing the flames from regenerating. Thankfully, I used this refinement path killer move when refining GU earlier. I am quite familiar with it. Fang Yuan rejoiced inwardly. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to deal with it in time. The larger the flames, the higher the price Fang Yuan had to pay to deal with them. Once the flames spread to the entirety of heaven form, this killer move would be completely destroyed. At that point, even Fang Yuan would not be able to stop it. "You will definitely be able to get through it. Master believes in you," Fang Yuan said gently. The white crane's wails became more intense. "What's going on?" Fang Yuan's eyes shined with bright light. Soon, he found out the reason. A pitch-black poison was produced in the white crane's body. It quickly spread and corroded the surroundings, causing the killer move to face the danger of breaking apart. The white crane started to vomit intensely, spitting out pitch-black poison from its mouth. Fang Yuan called out. He knew that he could not use fire refinement now, otherwise, he would ignite the fire from earlier. Thus, he pointed with his finger. In an instant, 100 green specks of light flew into the white crane's mouth like a group of fireflies. The specks of green light scattered into the poison, growing rapidly. Stalks of green grass grew from small sprouts in the blink of an eye, absorbing all of the poison in the white crane's body. Fang Yuan flicked his finger again. Golden light flowed into the white crane's body like water, turning the green grass into powder. Countless powder entered the white crane's body, healing its injuries. After the storm, there will definitely be a rainbow. Don't give up. Fang Yuan encouraged it again. But the white crane let out an ear-piercing shriek. Its body twitched like it was electrocuted. Next, its elegant body expanded rapidly like a balloon, becoming larger and larger. It was about to reach its limit and self-detonate. Fang Yuan quickly stretched out his hand, clenching his fist. A huge iron rod appeared in his palm. Just one refinement path killer move is not enough. Thoughts flashed in Fang Yuan's mind. He quickly manipulated the GU worms in his immortal aperture, helping Fang Yuan prepare another killer move. In the next moment, sharp ice spikes appeared on the giant iron rod. Bam! Fang Yuan exerted strength in his arm, smashing the huge iron rod on the white crane's body. The white crane screamed in pain, looking at its master with an incredulous gaze. Fang Yuan, however, had a smile on his face. Believe in master, believe in yourself even more. Bam! Fang Yuan smashed down again. The white crane's inflated body shrunk. At the same time, the ice spikes pierced through the body, strong air currents gushed out of the wounds. Bam! Fang Yuan smiled warmly. Good white crane, do your best. Bam! Fang Yuan smiled warmly. Little cute white crane, persevere, perseverance is victory. Bam bam! Fang Yuan smiled benevolently. No matter what you are going through, don't give up easily. I am here, I will not let you break down. Looking at the iron rod smashing down again, the white crane's expression had already collapsed. Bam! With a loud sound, it seemed to have fainted from the impact. It was motionless. However, its body had already returned to its original size. It was no longer expanding, but it was covered in wounds and was barely breathing. It no longer had the power of a rank 8 killer move. Only then did Fang Yuan put away the big iron rod with the ice thorns. He nodded with satisfaction and muttered to himself, although this is the first time I've tried combining these two moves, it's not a big deal. But the refinement path Venerable's intuition was not wrong. The effect is as strong as I expected. This move isn't like love's consolation. It has a wide range of applications. I can practice it more in the future. The next time such a situation occurs, I'll use this move as well. As if it had heard Fang Yuan's words, the dead crane suddenly shuddered and closed its mouth. The fusion of white heaven and black heaven caused heaven form to fall into a dangerous situation. Fang Yuan had to guard it at all times and use refinement path killer moves to stabilize the situation. The current difficulty isn't high, but I can't say for sure in the future. Furthermore, guarding heaven form is like restricting my movements. Refining it will also cause my immortal essence to be expended. Fang Yuan's immortal essence accumulation was not high to begin with. This would only make his situation worse. But I can't give up on heaven form. Fang Yuan wanted to protect this killer move, because after using Cooking Luck Pot to inspect his luck, Fang Yuan analyzed that heaven path was a shortcut to his current predicament. Like now, he was guarding heaven form while refining other heaven path immortal GU in the sovereign immortal aperture. A new heaven path immortal GU was created. This heaven path immortal GU was like a crystal spider. It was transparent and flawless. The spider's 8 legs were long and slender. Its body was small and was supported by the 8 legs. Rank 8 Heaven Path Immortal GU Heavenly Web. With this GU as the core, he could create the Heaven Path Killer move Heavenly Web. Back then in the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Paradise Earth had used it many times. Its defensive effect was superb. It could match Fang Yuan's reverse flow protection seal. After Fang Yuan killed Paradise Earth, he found that he only had 2 Heaven Path Immortal GU in his immortal aperture. One was Heavenly Web GU, and one was Heavenly Birth GU. Heavenly Birth GU was the core immortal GU that allowed Paradise Earth to revive and cultivate Heaven Path from Earth Path. There were many other immortal GU. For example, Information Path Immortal GU Outline GU. It could allow GU immortals to analyze the general structure of complicated information. Or Rule Path Immortal GU Normal GU. It could restore the target to their normal state. With these immortal GU, Paradise Earth could create all sorts of Heaven Path Killer moves, like Heavenly Web, Heartless Heaven and Earth, Heavenly Summary and Earthly Norm, and so on. Heavenly Web GU was already refined. Fang Yuan had to refine Heavenly Birth GU now. Heavenly Birth GU was an immortal GU that could heal injuries. It could be used with Fang Yuan's refinement path. It had a miraculous effect on heaven form. Fang Yuan had Heaven Path accumulations to begin with, rank 8 Heavenly Secret GU, Heaven's Envy GU, as well as the killer move Heaven Envy's Geniuses that Fang Yuan used in Crazed Demon Cave, as well as the killer move Heaven Form that he was protecting now. Paradise Earth was a huge gift. After Fang Yuan consumed it, his Heaven Path foundation rose by several times. Especially in Paradise Earth's Heaven Path research results, there is a killer move, Obscured Heavenly Secret. It can use Heaven Path methods to conceal oneself. It is very useful to me. Fang Yuan's biggest goal was Obscured Heavenly Secret. Next was to refine Heavenly Birth GU to stabilize Heaven Form. Obscured Heavenly Secret killer move could be modified. In theory, the more Heaven Path Immortal GU used, the stronger the concealment effect. There were only 2 ways for Fang Yuan to resolve his low immortal essence storage. One was to manage his immortal aperture. But blindly speeding up the sovereign immortal aperture's time flow was not a good idea. Fang Yuan could only publicize his plan of Great Love GU refinement, to gather resource points as efficiently as possible to manage his immortal aperture and raise his immortal aperture origin core to produce more immortal essence. The second way was to refine Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus. Rank 8 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus was a huge help to Fang Yuan. Without this GU, Fang Yuan's immortal essence would have dried up long ago in Crazed Demon Cave. It was truly an amazing effect. Anyone who used it would know. It was indeed worthy of being Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's vital GU. Fang Yuan was a rank 9 Venerable now. Rank 8 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus was not suitable anymore. Once he advanced it, Rank 9 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus would definitely allow Fang Yuan to break out of his current predicament. However, if he tried to advance it directly, the information would definitely be exposed. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal would definitely be keeping an eye on Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was well aware of this. He was rank 9 now, rank 8 Cooking Luck Pot could only barely help him. By then, if he refined rank 9 Immortal GU, his luck would undergo an even greater change. Against Giant Sun Immortal, Cooking Luck Pot would not be able to block him. As a Wisdom Path GU Immortal Venerable, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable could not hide it from them. The moment I advance to rank 9 will be my weakest moment. The two Venerables will definitely join hands to attack me. Thus, Obscured Heavenly Secret is crucial. Cooking Luck Pot could not hide it from Giant Sun Immortal because of Luck Path. But Obscured Heavenly Secret was Heaven Path. It was like how Fang Yuan faced Pill Path and Painting Path. Against Heaven Path, Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable would also be at a loss. But this plan has its own hidden dangers, because Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had once fused with the Tao for over 3 million years. Celestial Court has abundant Heaven Path research results. How long can Obscured Heavenly Secret hide it from her? Chapter 2256. Although the pain in his throat had greatly improved, he could not muster up any strength. Rest and build up strength. Try to update as much as possible tomorrow. Venomous GU Master has no updates today. Currently typing. Please wait for a moment. After the content is updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. Chapter 2257. Central Continent. 3 rank 6 GU Immortals were fighting against an ancient cloud beast. Be careful. The ancient cloud beast suddenly changed, its speed increased as it pounced at the woman among the 3 immortals. The female immortal was not flustered, her white dress bloomed like a flower as she blocked the cloud beast's attack. But this ancient cloud beast also went all out. Even though it was blocked, it did not retreat like before, its body turned illusory as it enveloped the female immortal. At first glance, it looked like the ancient cloud beast had swallowed the female immortal. Fairy Lian Yun, Shi Zhangyi shouted. He was about to use his information path killer move in a hurry. But at this time, Yu Yizi called out to him, "Wait. If you use this killer move, what if it pierces the cloud beast and injures Fairy Lian Yun?" Shi Zhangyi immediately stopped. He gritted his teeth. "What do I do now?" Yu Yizi, who had the appearance of a young girl, showed a solemn expression. "In this situation, I can only try that move." "What move?" Shi Zhangyi felt something amiss. "Don't tell me you are not familiar with it yet." Yu Yizi was already preparing his killer move. Sensing the killer move's aura, the cloud beast enveloped Zhao Lianyun as it charged over. Shi Zhangyi immediately used his ability to stall this ancient cloud beast as much as possible. Its mouth was wide open, its tongue was exposed. After activating his information path killer move, Shi Zhangyi continued to speak. The power of his words enveloped the ancient cloud beast, accumulating a formless force that stalled the ancient cloud beast. Shi Zhangyi held on for more than 10 breaths of time before he heard Yu Yizi's voice. He was overjoyed. He stopped his killer move and dodged to the side. Yu Yizi's palms were aimed at the ancient cloud beast as 2 pillars of light shot out from his palms. The light pillars were light blue. They shined on the ancient cloud beast's body and dissolved it. Zhao Lianyun, who was trapped inside the cloud beast, had been trying to break free. He exerted more strength and successfully broke free, regaining his freedom. "Good, it is my turn." Shi Zhangyi saw that Zhao Lianyun had escaped and immediately cooperated with Yu Yizi, activating an offensive killer move. The 2 killer moves landed on the ancient cloud beast's body. Finally, with a loud sound, this ancient cloud beast exploded. The corpses of the ancient cloud beasts turned into lumps of clouds, and most of them were immortal materials. After collecting them, Zhao Lianyun and the other 2 rested on the spot. "It's my fault. I was caught by the cloud beasts, causing the quality of the immortal materials to be low," Zhao Lianyun said apologetically. This loss is nothing. Furthermore, we only have rank 6 cultivation level. It is already amazing that we could win against an ancient cloud beast. It's not good to have too many extravagant demands, Yu Yizi consoled. Shi Zhengyi said casually, ever since the battle at the reverse flow river, we rarely get together. I didn't expect that when the black and white heavens merged, the beasts from the black and white heavens would often escape to the Zhongzhou state to cause trouble. That's why we met again. There's no need to fuss over these trifles. The friendship between the three immortals was forged during the battle at the reverse flow river. Although Fang Yuan was the biggest winner in the battle at the reverse flow river, he was not the only one. But the three of them had excellent performances in the battle of reverse flow river, with Wei Lingyang risking his life to escort them, as well as Central Continent's reinforcements. They managed to escape with their lives. The three immortals returned to their sects and were heavily nurtured. Zhao Lianyun smiled, following Shi Zhengyi's words, since you don't care about these trifles, please accept this gift. Saying so, she handed an information path immortal material to Shi Zhengyi. Shi Zhengyi was surprised. This is a nonsense petal flower. This is the immortal material I need to refine immortal GU. He did not stand on ceremony. He took this rank 6 immortal material and inspected it carefully. Zhao Lianyun looked at Yu Yizi, smiling as she handed him a refinement path GU immortal true inheritance. I did not fail you. Yu Yizi was very happy. The refinement path inheritance I cultivate is called the 8 refinement gates. To think that the rumors were true, a certain generation's fairy of Spirit Affinity House actually created the 9th gate on the foundation of this inheritance. Oh my, Fairy Lianyun, how can I thank you? Zhao Lianyun shook her head repeatedly and said with a smile, this is something that I can do. It's also your good luck. I happen to be the current generation's fairy of Spirit Affinity House, otherwise, I would not have the authority to deal with such a true inheritance. As for thanking me, I need it. Zhao Lianyun said casually in a joking tone, in the future, when you become rank 7 or 8 GU immortals, just take care of me a little. Shi Zhengyi and Yu Yizi's mood dimmed. They knew about Zhao Lianyun's situation. Zhao Lianyun had thieving heaven demon Venerable's rank 9 killer move divine concealment. He could not undergo tribulation, thus his cultivation level could not rise. In contrast, Shi Zhengyi and Yu Yizi's cultivation level had improved a lot compared to the battle of reverse flow river. Shi Zhengyi gritted his teeth. To speak the truth, I have been asking about the breakthrough method. When GU immortals undergo tribulation, they are restricted by the heavenly Tao. Providence controls the calamities and tribulations. Fairy, the reason why you cannot undergo tribulation is because of divine concealment. You cannot be investigated by Providence. The solution is actually very simple. You just need to unravel divine concealment. Divine concealment is a rank 9 killer move. It is very difficult to unravel this killer move. But since there are 3 venerables in this world, it is not impossible to break a rank 9 killer move. But if we simply unravel it, it would be a waste of a treasure. I think if we can seek Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's help, she is a wisdom path venerable, she will definitely be able to find a solution. Zhao Lianyun smiled bitterly. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable is a high and mighty existence. How can I get close to her at my level? Fairy, don't look down on yourself. Just with the rank 9 love GU that you control, you will not be neglected. Yu Yizi consoled, but to seek Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's help, according to the rules of our 10 great ancient sects and celestial court, you will need a huge amount of sect contribution points. But now, Fairy Lianyun, you've used your contribution points to exchange for this true inheritance for me. So, please take all the Cloud Beast immortal materials I have here, Fairy Lianyun. Shi Zhengyi laughed heartily, then take mine as well. It is a small token of my appreciation. Zhao Lianyun immediately shook her head, I appreciate your kindness. Even though the immortal materials of these Cloud Beast corpses will give me a huge amount of contribution points, it is more than what I use to exchange for the true inheritance. But I am still far from asking Star Constellation Immortal Venerable for help. In that case, why don't I fully support you and help you advance? When you become rank 7 or 8, you can return and help me. Wouldn't that be more efficient? Zhao Lianyun's words made sense. Under her persuasion, Shi Zhengyi and Yu Yizi kept the cloud beast corpses. Even so, Fairy Lianyun, please accept these immortal yuan stones. That's right, in the following battles, the immortal essence expenditure will be huge. If we use immortal yuan stones to replenish them at the crucial moment, we can deal with dangerous situations. Shi Zhengyi and Yu Yizi spoke again. This time, Zhao Lianyun did not reject them, she accepted the 2 batches of immortal yuan stones. I do not have many immortal yuan stones with me. Speaking of which, the sect rarely distributes immortal yuan stones anymore. Do you know why? Zhao Lianyun asked. Yu Yizi and Shi Zhengyi shook their heads, their situation was the same. Shi Zhengyi was an information path cultivator after all, he revealed a secret. Our 10 great ancient sects are all subordinate sects of the Celestial Court. All of our immortal yuan stones are distributed by the Celestial Court. It seems that after the Fate War, the Celestial Court has gradually reduced the distribution of immortal yuan stones. Right now, this distribution of immortal yuan stones has already stopped. The 10 great ancient sects definitely have their own immortal yuan stones, but in order to plan for the future, they have gradually stopped distributing them. Yu Yizi also said, recently, I have been transacting refinement path immortal materials in jewel yellow skies. I have also noticed this. The transactions in jewel yellow skies are even more intense, but there are more exchanges of materials. Immortal yuan stones are becoming rarer. Does the Celestial Court want to use immortal yuan stones to influence the 5 regions GU immortal world? Zhao Lianyun's eyes shined with bright light. All along, the immortal yuan stones in the 5 regions and 2 heavens GU immortal world had all come from the Celestial Court. If the Celestial Court controlled the source, the range of influence would be huge. Among them, the ones who would be the most heavily affected were the rank 6 GU immortals who had the most numbers in the GU immortal world. As their cultivation level rose, the influence of rank 7 and rank 8 GU immortals would gradually decrease. This was very inconvenient for Zhao Lianyun. There were 2 main reasons. Firstly, the transactions in jewel yellow skies were very inconvenient. Secondly, if Zhao Lianyun's immortal essence reserves were low, she would not have immortal yuan stones to expend, she would not be able to replenish her immortal essence quickly. Is the Celestial Court trying to use this to slow down and suppress the transactions of the 5 regions GU immortals, as well as to prevent the frequent fights between the GU immortals at the bottom level? Zhao Lianyun inwardly pondered. The phenomenon of immortal yuan stones decreasing in quantity was discovered by more and more GU immortals. Because the source was in the hands of the Celestial Court, other forces could not do anything about it. Immortal yuan stones were usually used as currency to assist GU immortals in transactions, but during times of war, they were an important strategic resource. GU immortals could use immortal yuan stones to replenish their immortal essence rapidly. Thus, after noticing this phenomenon, the 5 regions' forces started to purchase immortal yuan stones and increase their reserves. This caused the already limited supply of immortal yuan stones to decrease even more rapidly. Fang Yuan had also noticed this phenomenon long ago. Is the Celestial Court trying to weaken the battle potential of other forces while increasing the value of their own immortal yuan stones? He had always been interested in the secret of the Celestial Court's possession of immortal yuan stones. Unfortunately, be it Shadow Sect's true inheritances or Paradise Earth's true inheritances, he did not obtain any clues. Even during the Fate War, when Fang Yuan attacked the Celestial Court and destroyed the immortal graveyard, he did not discover the secret of immortal yuan stones. The Celestial Court restricted the circulation of immortal yuan stones. It was indeed a headache for countless forces and GU immortals, but to Fang Yuan, it was a small problem. 1 immortal yuan stone was equivalent to 1 green grape immortal essence bead. Fang Yuan's yellow apricot immortal essence bead was equivalent to 1,000,000 immortal yuan stone. Fang Yuan had been in the immemorial 2 heavens for several days, maintaining heaven form killer move for the past few days. Let's begin. He let out a breath of air as he prepared an immortal killer move. Heaven path killer move obscured heavenly secret. P.S. corrected all the typos and bugs in chapters 247 to 261. The bugs related to Heavenly Secret GU would be explained in the following chapters. Normally speaking, they would be fixed first, followed by Chijian's app. Other channels might not be able to change it. Pirated versions could not be fixed. Other than that, I recommend the book Ancestor of Body Cultivation. Cultivation is hard, the path is hard, the path of body cultivation is long. This is a story about body cultivation from nothing to something. It is a book written by a Silver Alliance master. He is one of us. If anyone is interested, go and support him. Chapter 2258. Inside the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. Mini Eastern Sea. The jade-green water current was huge like a dragon, flowing rapidly on the surface of the sea. Several rank 6 GU immortals chased after it. Quick, the water current is heading towards you. Watch me. Boom. The water current surged, creating waves that were over 100 feet tall. We blocked it. No, be careful. 2 rank 6 GU immortals were engulfed by the waves. Damn it. The remaining GU immortals used all their methods. Finally, this jade-green water current did not escape this sea area. When the time was up, a pure white light covered the surrounding 10 li of the sea. He Chun Chiu showed himself and shouted as he raised his hand. Immediately, the sea surface started to move. After more than 10 breaths of time, a water path formation was completed. The core of the water path formation was a rank 7 water path immortal GU. The main body was a batch of water path immortal materials that had already been expended. The jade-green water current turned into a whirlpool in the water path formation, continuously rotating and emitting splashing sounds. The rank 6 GU immortals flew into the air. Seeing this, they cheered. He Chun Chiu inspected it again. After confirming that there were no mistakes, he let out a breath of air. At this point, the resource point of the long stream of emerald water was settled here. Jade-green water was a rank 7 immortal material. It had a famous characteristic: it would flow continuously and never stop. Fang Yuan created the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance and annexed the Righteous Qi Alliance. He forced Eastern Sea's Righteous Path to hand over a batch of water path resource points. This jade-green water was one of them. He Chun Chiu was in charge of setting up the jade-green water. He set up an immortal formation and ordered the other rank 6 GU immortals to trap this jade-green water and prevent it from escaping to other places. After several days of effort, the construction was finally completed. From now on, this resource point would not only produce jade-green water, it could also be used as a water vein node. In the future, with further development, it might even form a long-flowing jade-green water area. Splitting Divine Whirlpool, 7 Treasures Sea Spring, Underwater 1000-Year Profound Ice Island, Clear Water Area, Rolling Bead Reservoir. These last days, Mini Eastern Sea has gained more than 10 water vein nodes. Only 3 more are needed to form a water vein. Just as He Chun Chiu was thinking, a rank 6 GU immortal respectfully asked, "Master, do you have any other instructions?" He Chun Chiu waved his hand at them, immediately activating Time Path Killer moves to heal their injuries. "Go ahead," said He Chun Chiu. The GU immortals left gratefully. They were very busy. They needed to go around and resolve abnormal situations to stabilize the environment of the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. The tasks in the Star Aligning Palace could be said to be piled up like a mountain. He Chun Chiu sighed again as he watched them leave in a hurry. After the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, the Sovereign Immortal Aperture faced 2 main problems. The first was that strange things were still happening frequently. The non-conflicting Dao marks of the Sovereign Immortal Body was the root cause. The more Dao marks in the Sovereign Immortal Aperture increased, the greater the trouble. After Fang Yuan ascended and passed the small primal chaos disaster, his refinement path Dao marks increased explosively. At the same time, they had been frantically building resource points. These resource points were also where Dao marks were gathered. The second problem was that the Sovereign Immortal Aperture lacked manpower. During the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, more than 100 GU immortals were sacrificed. A portion of them could not revive because of the small primal chaos disaster. One of them was the last generation combat beast king. Most of the remaining people had revived, but they only had GU master cultivation level. The current situation was special. They could not let these people undergo immortal ascension quickly. Thus, looking at the current sovereign immortal aperture, the strongest people were He Chuanxiu, Wu Shuai, Lady White Rabbit, and Fairy Miao Yin. These rank 8 GU immortals. He Chuanxiu and Wu Shuai were the ones who constructed the resource points and set up the formations. Even though they did not cultivate formation path, they were Fang Yuan's clones. They had the same formation path attainment level. If it were anyone else, they would not be able to do it. He Chuanxiu had already entered the liver life formation several times. He had no time to rest. Maybe I should ask my main body to send a group of Merman GU immortals from the Merman Imperial Court to deal with this. He Chuanxiu thought. Compared to humans, variant humans were more reliant on Fang Yuan. They were less likely to betray him. At the same time, Mini Eastern Sea needed to move a large number of mermen. Compared to the other 4 mini regions, Mini Eastern Sea only had hairy men. The 3 continents were filled with vitality and people. The other places had almost no variant humans. They were too sparsely populated. The sovereign immortal aperture was managed by his clones and subordinates, while Fang Yuan's main body was guarding heaven form. Bam bam bam! Fang Yuan's metal rod continued to smash. This time, Fang Yuan's metal rod no longer had ice spikes. It was burning with intense flames. Heaven form gritted its teeth. It did not dare to make any sound. It curled up its body with all its strength. The frost that appeared on its body was shattered by the metal rod and melted by the intense flames. As the black and white heavens became more chaotic, heaven form became more and more unstable. But Fang Yuan still had energy to spare. He stabilized heaven form while activating obscured heavenly secret, practicing and comprehending it at the same time. The obscured heavenly secret killer move he was using now was the original version of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. Paradise Earth did not have heavenly secret immortal GU. He used heavenly web GU as the core. It also expended a lot of heaven path immortal materials. After these heaven path immortal materials were expended, a new layer of heaven path Dao marks would appear all over Fang Yuan's body. It was like a fishing net. Whenever someone tried to deduce or investigate Fang Yuan, this fishing net made of heaven path Dao marks would change shape. The lines of the fishing net would bend and shrink. It would become unrecognizable in an instant. Thus, obscured heavenly secret's true effect is not to block all deductions, it is to mislead others and make them get the wrong conclusion. Fang Yuan had already realized the essence of this move. Once the heaven path Dao marks used to make the fishing net are expended, obscured heavenly secret will lose its effect. Conversely, the more heaven path immortal materials I expend, the more heaven path Dao marks I need to make the fishing net, the stronger and longer this obscured heavenly secret will be. From this, Fang Yuan saw hope of deceiving the 2 venerables. In theory, as long as he expended enough heaven path Dao marks, the 2 venerables would not discover his rank 9 heavenly essence treasure Imperial Lotus. Right now, Fang Yuan's yellow apricot immortal essence storage had just reached 100. As long as he reached the minimum requirement, Fang Yuan would start refining the GU. Fang Yuan was in a hurry to refine heavenly essence treasure Imperial Lotus because he knew that the best opportunity was now. Because the battle in Crazed Demon Cave had just ended, the 3 venerables were familiar with each other. They did not have time to modify their methods. Thus, in a fight between venerables, Fang Yuan had a higher chance of winning. After all, he had more Dao marks than Giant Sun Immortal and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. If he missed this opportunity and the 2 venerables modified their methods, the result would be uncertain. Immortal essence storage is my weakness. If I do not use this chance to make up for this weakness, in the long term, my immortal essence storage will always be lower than the other 2 venerables. I will be restricted by this weakness forever. Fang Yuan knew that he needed to take a risk. Longevity Heaven. Giant Sun Immortal shouted. He stared with furious eyes. His gaze pierced through Longevity Heaven and looked at the 5 regions. Good, with the amplification of Longevity Heaven's luck path Dao marks, I can see the luck of all living beings in the 5 regions. Giant Sun Immortal first looked at Celestial Court. After a while, He looked at Eastern Sea, but he did not see Fang Yuan. Giant Sun Immortal was shocked. He immediately searched and found a trace of luck in the black and white heavens. This luck was like a furnace. There were cracks on the surface of the furnace, there was very little firewood at the bottom of the furnace, there was an immortal crane inside the furnace that was like a cloud or mist, it seemed to be burning. Heaven form? At that instant, Giant Sun Immortal's eyes shined with bright light. He laughed heartily. He understood Fang Yuan's current situation. This heaven form killer move was left behind by thieving heaven demon Venerable. During the Fate War, Fang Yuan used it to invade Celestial Court. Now that the two heavens have fused, heaven form's foundation is not stable, it needs Fang Yuan to protect it at all times. This is a rank 9 killer move, it is no small matter, Fang Yuan is restrained here, it is the best time for me to attack. During the Fate War, Fang Yuan had already exposed heaven form. Longevity Heaven had cooperated with Fang Yuan many times before, so Giant Sun Immortal knew this information very well. After discovering this scene, this immortal Venerable from Northern Plains immediately moved to attack Eastern Sea. He was decisive, direct, and swift to the extreme. In the black and white heavens, Fang Yuan sighed and smiled. He had just sensed Giant Sun Immortal's investigation. He deactivated obscured heavenly secret and probed Giant Sun Immortal. He actually lured Giant Sun Immortal to attack. Giant Sun is here, what about star constellation? A dark light flashed in Fang Yuan's eyes. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.